Well, we are back, huh? We're back at the 9 Club, everybody, today. Oh, boy. Let me tell you, we got a special guest with us. Mr. Kevin Spanky Long is here. How are you, bro?
I'm well.
You're good?
Good, yeah.
Good.
Feeling good.
Let me ask you a question before we get this whole thing started. Do you prefer to be called Kevin or Spanky?
I just don't have a preference.
No preference. If you're meeting somebody on the street, Spanky, they call you Spanky, you're totally fine with that.
Yes.
You introduce yourself as Kevin, though, I assume.
Yes.
Yes.
That's,
right.
Yeah, that's a major distinction.
You don't say, hey, I'm Spanky.
Never.
How did you get the name Spanky?
I've told this story a lot of times. I've been asked a few times, but
Sure.
there really is just like nothing good. It was like a Little Rascals thing.
Okay.
Brothers, friends, like family friends. That was like my little nickname.
Okay.
Everyone had a little nickname for like a week. Mine is currently still going.
Still 20, 30 something years.
They weren't putting a lot of thought into it, but it was
Right.
just like, you're this little dude. I don't know.
What about your parents?
Crazy nicknames.
Oh, but do they call you Spanky at all? Or
No.
No. Okay. Just trying to get to the bottom of this, you know?
Wait, so all your family has nicknames?
Yeah, all Little Rascal themed nicknames.
Oh, really?
wow.
No.
Who's Alfalfa? I mean, you could have been Alfalfa your whole life. Kevin Alfalfa Long.
That'd been pretty shitty.
No, Spanky's a great nickname, though. It's a great nickname. Everybody needs a nickname, I think.
I'm all right with it.
Yeah?
Yeah.
Okay.
I mean, there were times when I questioned it.
Really?
It sounds a little funny coming off the tongue sometimes.
Yeah.
Spanky.
I'll be honest with you. I was actually just, when I was saying Kevin Spanky Long, it sounded a little weird to me.
Yeah.
Yeah. Just because I feel like I should just say Kevin.
It's better than having a girl's name.
Anyway, Spanky.
That's what.
Let's get into this. Huh? Let's get, yeah. So, you're from California.
Yeah.
What city?
Oak Park, Agora Hills up there, right like past the valley.
Close to Simi Valley, maybe?
Yeah, over the hill.
Oh.
It's more in between Simi and Malibu-ish.
Okay.
Yeah, it's up there.
Is that how you kind of became friends with Mikey Taylor and that crew?
Yeah.
Yeah?
Yeah, Mikey lived over that way too before they moved to Newberry Park. And so,
Oh, yeah.
yeah, we skated. He was like one of my first skate buddies.
What age is this we're talking?
I think I started skating with Mike and Matt probably around 7th grade or something.
7th grade.
I don't know.
What does that make you? 15? 16?
Yeah.
Maybe it was earlier
When,
than that.
when were you born?
That.
When were you born?
I was born in 84.
84.
I got my first board. Let's start there.
Yeah, go ahead.
First like real board, real actual skateboard.
Not rail skateboards.
No, it was a Powell mini logo.
Oh, yeah.
1995 probably.
95.
11-year-old birthday.
So
95.
11.
Yeah, probably was not too long after getting that first actual skateboard that I started skating with those guys.
Oh, wow.
With Mike.
Huh.
Do you remember meeting those guys?
No.
No.
I don't know. You'll soon find out.
It's actually funny. I
My
don't
memory
even.
is not.
Go ahead. No, sure.
It's not all
sure.
time.
I don't even remember meeting Raj, you know,
Yeah,
or
just,
Kelly.
Just there.
He definitely doesn't remember me.
Sometimes people just appear in your life. And you don't
Yeah.
even know it.
We were buds.
Sure.
We were little homies.
Right. Do you remember who was better at skating at
Out of-
that point? Yeah, out of like you and Mikey and.
Oh,
you
Mikey.
mentioned-
Mikey was. Yeah, he was.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
Oh.
Mikey was gnarly. He was always so good.
Was Newberry Park around back then? The skate park?
Yeah, I mean, eventually, but not when we first started skating.
Oh, okay.
Like, they moved out there, and then I think soon after they moved out there, the park came about.
But after a while, after skating and getting better and better, your first sponsor was 16 skateboards?
Yeah.
Or did you have a sponsor before that?
I had a shop sponsor in Agora, IG.
Yeah, I remember that.
Yeah.
Was that the shop that Vince worked at?
Possibly.
Vince Capaldi?
Maybe, but here's the thing. There was like a couple locations, and I skated for them. It was like before I even knew how to skate, basically. They started hooking me up because I was been going in there since I was a little kid. My dad was buying surfboards, and
sick.
it was like a family operation, and
Right.
they really like hooked me up before I could do anything. And I got to thank them for, among a lot of things, but for that, they were like, they gave me some I don't know, they pushed me.
Some Free stuff or maybe discounts?
Like discounts and stuff,
Okay,
but
yeah,
more
that's
than that, it was encouragement. You know, they
Yeah.
were like, you're hooked up, and I had a little bit of bragging rights. It's just like, that goes a long way when you're a little kid.
Yeah.
And all the guys there's this Bert and Seamus, like just
That's right, Bert.
great guys that like I looked up to, and they just were early guidance.
Yeah. Bert Zdenek,
Legend.
drove a white pickup truck.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And
wasn't
he
he?
skated fast.
Oh yeah,
He was in
really
the Listen
good.
video, wasn't he?
He might have had a couple clips in
Yeah, I
there.
think I
He was
remember
friends with Tim Dowling
Yeah.
and stuff like that too. So
Yeah.
I know Bert. Yeah. So that gave you your start, your jump into it.
Yeah, and then I was just like skating around with those guys, Mikey and a bunch of dudes around Agora, and then I was skating contests and stuff.
Gotcha.
Castle contests. My mom would take me to castle contests,
Okay.
and I liked going to contests when I was just like,
You liked entering them and everything.
yeah, I was like into it at that time.
You do well.
I think I
You got
think
trophies
I
at
did
home?
all right. Yeah, because that's how I got on 16. I was skating a castle contest at Skate Street, which was my favorite park ever.
Oh, so you were on fire.
Yeah, but they before the contest started, I was skating flat ground and like a little launch ramp in the parking lot. And then this dude Rodney Johnson and Neil Mims.
Neil
were-
Mims.
Yes, they were in a van watching me, and I was just skating sketchy. They came out of this like smoky van, and they were like,
Door opens. We have
and,
some boards for
yeah,
you.
and they hooked me up, and
That was it.
it was
16.
they weren't sketchy.
Right.
Yeah, and then I skated the contest, and I did well, and
Yeah?
and I might have won the contest, but it was like castle contest, little whatever. I don't know how old I was then, 13 or something.
Oh, okay. Oh, so you didn't get on 16 until where did you get on at that contest?
I don't think I got on right then,
No.
but I got on soon after.
Soon
they sent me.
after.
I remember they sent me a box with like physics wheels.
Oh yeah.
And maybe the box was like kind of all over the place. Some invisible stuff.
Yeah,
Some,
it's like tracker.
It was like
and all that
Climax,
stuff.
right?
Climax.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's what it was.
Yeah.
They had castle contests too down there,
at
right?
Climax, yeah.
Those ones always look pretty. They were doing them for a long time, but
Yeah.
they look good.
That little park they had was pretty sick back in the
Yeah.
day.
I don't think I did tons of them, but right in that little period, I was psyched to go to contests.
How long were you on 16? Because after that, you got hooked up by City Stars, right?
Well, I was on 16 probably a couple of years.
Couple years?
Yeah.
Okay.
And they made a video and shit, and we took little trips, and yeah, that was heavy.
You had a part in the video?
Yeah.
Yeah?
Had a part in the video. It seemed like, I mean, if I saw it now from a different perspective, I would have been like, this is insane. But when we were in it, we were just like aware that it was like a little kid thing, and like that was kind of weird. But
Eventually, you graduate to Invisible.
yeah, which is like a weird concept.
Yeah.
Yeah, for those who don't know, it was a kids company, and then the theory is that when you turn 16, then you go on to the big boy company.
Oh, 16 was a cutoff date.
Yeah, 16 was
Right.
like,
And then you go
or
to.
kind of. I mean, that's what I always thought it was.
Oh, yeah. What a weird concept.
Yeah,
Uh,
I
Birthdays coming
didn't
up, you
get
feel like
there.
you get kicked off.
I didn't get there, so it was like maybe 14 or 13 to 15 or something.
13 to 15, right.
Maybe it wasn't even that long. I don't know.
Well, Justin Case was on there too, wasn't he?
Yeah.
Did you skate a lot with him back then?
Yeah,
Jared
he
were
was-
from too.
yeah,
Jared Bissett.
Jimmy Asselford.
yeah.
He was on them.
Oh, you got a little squad.
Oh, absolutely.
Yeah,
Yeah,
good dudes.
Yeah, really
there
good.
was a lot of good dudes.
Well, what happened with 16? You didn't
Oh,
you didn't
six-
graduate.
No, 16. It just kind of Rodney left,
Oh,
and then when Rodney left, it was just one of those things that wasn't the same. And then he went to World, and I was getting World boards for a second.
oh,
And then I was just at that time, Mikey and Matt and those guys had moved up to Newberry Park, and I don't know whatever grade I was in, there was less skaters, and things were kind of like fizzling out.
okay, right.
Right, so like I'm no longer have this like little kid company thing
Yeah.
where we could kind of shine.
Sure.
And then I'm getting some World Industries crumbs.
Not bad
And-
crumbs though.
No,
Earl at the time. Yeah.
No, I was happy, but
Right.
it was obviously not. I wasn't going anywhere
Okay.
within World Industries. I wasn't like, I'm next. Let's do this. It was just trying to figure out what was going on, and then what happened? Oh, then I just started going. I started hanging out with Mike and going up to Newberry, and those guys were getting serious, and him and Van were on a tear, and that was like when I started skating with Van Wastel.
Okay.
And like those guys were just ripping, and the park had opened, the Newberry Park, and yeah, by that point Mike had a car. We were skating like real spots and stuff,
Okay.
and I just spent more time up there with
Yeah.
them and started skating with Paul, and that was then
That was before he was P-Rod.
yeah, I guess. But yeah, then those guys all got on City Stars, and I was like the last little crumb to fall into place, I guess, over there.
But how did that happen? Did they just bring you with them, or?
Here's how I remember it.
Okay.
I think that it came to a point where I was like filming with Scuba and Paul a lot, and we were all kind of skating. And I think I remember Mike kind of being like, you should get sponsored, like you're ready, kind of thing. And I was
Mikey
like-
Taylor's telling you
Mikey
this.
Taylor was like, I think you're ready. Like you should send your tape or whatever to whatever Zero or whatever shit you like.
Oh, he didn't even say City Stars.
Well,
he wasn't even trying to get you on.
I just don't think it was like, although I was so close with all of them, I
Right.
don't think even at that time it was like the obvious choice for me. I really
Okay.
like dug different stuff,
Right.
but I don't remember how.
Yeah.
Then it just became like, well, someone was like, why don't you just get on City Stars? And I was like, I'm down. Like these are all my friends, and then it was always this kind of thing where Kareem was like super cool about that. He was like, you know, you don't match the vibe completely, but that's kind of cool too.
Yeah.
And I was like, at that point, I just kind of like zeroed into skating and was like, I want to do this and film, and
Okay.
I started skating with Heath Brinkley and
Right.
getting in some like Logic videos and stuff like that. And I felt like I was kind of breaking into something.
Wiggling your way in
Yeah.
the yeah. Back then, how were you? Because those guys were kind of fresh. You know,
Yeah.
Mikey Taylor, Baggy. Were you along with the Baggy shit, or were you more like you said? You kind of had your own thing going.
Yeah, I mean, before that, I was a Toy Machine Zero kid. I
Gotcha.
loved that stuff. My mind was infected by Welcome to Hell. Like,
Okay.
and all those Zero videos and stuff, and then
yeah.
and I was just into that. And then around the time that I'm talking about, that I started getting City Stars stuff, and it was like a little bit less. I was wearing some slightly fresher things,
okay.
but never really like, only because I just didn't have as defined of a vibe, I guess.
Okay. Right.
I don't know. It was, but yeah, it was obvious to them that I was like on a different tip.
You know, I was in Welcome to Hell.
You were a big influence on them.
Anyway,
I'm sure he knows that, but
just a little tidbit. So
That's incredible.
thank you. Thank you.
Well done. It's a great video.
So how long did the City Stars thing last for you? Did you go to the very end?
I think that what happened was those guys all started doing their own thing, and that happened pretty quick.
Right.
And I kind of looked at Kareem, and he was just like, yeah, like go do your thing. It was like by that point, like all the that's how I remember it.
Okay.
It was like the damage was done, and I was like not really. They had just kind of announced me into the mix, and it wasn't. I don't think that I was his biggest concern at that point. Well, which is not to say that it wasn't lame. It probably all sucked. Everyone was leaving.
It fell
For
apart
sure.
pretty fast.
And I think there was something really radical going there, and
Yeah.
so it must have been a big time bummer. And those guys were like helping us all out, and
Totally.
everyone kind of just decided to make moves at the same.
Did you ever get the chain?
No, but I wanted the chain, and there was like I was supposed to get the chain, but it was like right at that time I was like, you know what? hold off on the chain.
This isn't going too well.
I'm also going to leave.
Did they ever talk to you about going pro at all back then?
No.
No?
There was an ad that had a bunch of people who's, I don't know if you guys remember this, but it was an ad and it was all the AMs and it was like, who's next to go pro? And it was Mikey, but they
gotcha.
showed all of us to,
Oh, so it was a fake ad. They already knew who was going pro.
I think so, unless there was some sort of,
Oh, and you
Vote that I wasn't-
didn't know like who was going pro?
no, I think that I knew that it was obviously Mikey
Huh.
at that point, but it was just like,
What a weird thing to do.
it seemed weird. I
Yeah.
could be making this up, but I don't think so.
Could be.
I think that that's something that happened.
When this all dissolved, City Stars was no more. What were you doing for boards?
Oh, at that point, I was getting stuff from Emerica.
Oh, yeah.
And I was like starting to get Emerica ads. And I was traveling with Andrew and Ed, and things were really ramping up.
Yeah.
Right. What was
And
it?
I was like, oh, the next logical thing is I'm talking to Ed, and I was like, maybe I could get on Toy Machine.
Your favorite.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And then, like I said, I was traveling with Andrew and those guys. And then I went on some trip. They were like, come to Australia with us on a Baker trip.
Oh.
Just come and like skate a bunch of spots and stuff. And I was like, hell yeah. That was the time where you could I was just on the road all the time
Right.
at that point, like just traveling. And I was like, fuck yeah, I'll be there. And then I went. And then during that trip, it just was like no more Toy Machine option. It was like,
Baker.
yeah, I was just immersed in there, and it really just like became apparent that that was the vibe.
That was your vibe, right?
Which I'm grateful that they invited me on that trip and that they wanted me. Obviously, like it's been a crazy ride since then, but
Totally.
Was Ed trying to pursue you to get you on Toy Machine at all, or were you just kind of like?
as I remember it, there were talks. Yeah,
Yeah.
like it was a thing where I was like, dude, I think at that point we were close enough to where I was like, maybe could I get on Toy Machine?
Yeah.
And maybe he was like, yeah, sure, I don't know, but I'm pretty sure it was a possibility.
The Baker trip sealed the deal.
Baker trip sealed.
Yeah. But wasn't it the same? Didn't you win Tampa Am that year or something
Yeah, right.
too?
All like that was all like happening in the same
Same time.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So
That's why like it's a little bit. I swear, like that time, just everything was happening so fast, and it was all like my fucking wildest dreams. Like it really was. Like I was like taking a step back and being like, this is crazy.
This is crazy. Right.
This is crazy.
That's
like,
awesome.
I remember,
Yeah, it's
I
awesome.
remember having that like, wow, this is like becoming a little bit normal, but it's still like this is my dream come true.
How old? Oh, go ahead,
I was
Raj.
gonna ask, like, were you filming for This Is Skateboarding then?
Yeah, that was my first part, like real part, I think. So
The part was awesome. The song choice was perfect.
yeah.
Yeah.
minor. I mean, that was definitely. I mean, I was stoked.
I remember during that time, this is kind of random, but you started, there's always like these trends that AMs do. Like there's one person that sets off something for their generation.
Yeah.
I feel like you started off the switch big spin for everyone, dude. Once you started doing that.
It's a good trick.
You're kind of the first one that kind of, the younger kids kind of take that to the next level, I feel like. Do you get that a lot? Is that like a trick that you're known for?
Yeah, I mean, I hear that, like,
Oh, yeah.
and I heard that back then.
Oh, yeah.
Because it was just, I think everything was smaller back then. So like, people would do tricks and other people would run with it. I mean, Carol's the switch big master. I was just emulating him, but I did
Okay.
get that a lot from
Yeah.
people that were like, switch big spin. That's like, because I would do it a lot, and I still do it a lot because it's like, that's how skating is. You find something that
Or
you can
feels
do
good.
and you fucking work with it.
Yeah.
And that's a good looking trick too.
I like that trick. And
Do you try to go around full or pivot around a little bit maybe?
I just do what I do. I just like,
okay. Sometimes I like a little pivot in that trick.
Yeah.
You know?
I don't mind a pivot. I think
Yeah.
a little bit of pivot's nice. It's not nice when it just whips around and then your body turns.
Sure, right.
Yeah.
Every
No
time
pivot.
I try that trick, it lands upside down. I cannot get it to stay straight. I don't know. Any techniques you could
You gotta practice, Kelly.
dude. You know what's funny? I started doing that trick and I couldn't do it and I kept flipping, so I did switch big spin heel flip instead. I'm not trying to sound like a cool guy.
I don't know how to teach skateboarding. You just make it go.
Just go,
Right?
yeah.
I can't do a regular big spin.
Really?
At all. I can't.
Really?
Yeah. I've never had that one. So
Do you not have the patience to teach people, or are you just, you don't care, or it's just hard for you to put it into words? I don't have the patience.
it's these headphones. It's hearing my voice try to tell Kelly how to do a switch big spin.
Two 34-year-olds telling each other.
I know,
tricks.
right? Yeah.
No, it's probably a patience thing.
Yeah. Right.
I'd like to be better at teaching people how to skate. That's a cool thing to impart some of your stuff that you learned along the way.
Sure.
I got a nephew. I want to teach him how to switch big spin one day.
There you go. Because everybody's got the tips, right? You say, oh, how do you tray flip? Oh, just put your foot in the pocket. Or, those tips,
Yeah.
right? But then to teach somebody how to do something,
Yeah,
it's like
it's
a
tough.
whole different ballgame.
You know who's really good at that is Neck is really good at teaching tricks.
Really?
Neck face, yeah. I don't know why.
He sits and watches skateboarding so much that he knows how to do it all.
I think he's just also, maybe he just has whatever that conversion is where you're like, this is the thing.
Has he taught you any tricks?
Yeah, he's taught a few of us like slappy grinds, like frontside slappies. Back in the day, he was
Okay.
like feet on the bolts. I don't know.
Oh,
Maybe somebody taught him that, but it's like both feet, both bolts.
I'm horrible at
Relax.
slappies.
Yeah. I mean, Chris, we were just talking about this the other day,
Right.
right?
Yeah.
We've never done a slappy.
Well, I've done them,
Oh.
but not like I'm not going to go up to a curb and do a slappy.
Yeah.
It's not in my DNA yet. Hopefully, with Neck Face's help,
Yeah.
I can get there.
I mean, how cool is skateboarding though? I've told myself for a long time, way too long, that I don't do this and I don't do that. And I've been learning so many new tricks lately because I stopped doing that.
It's true.
learn a
though.
bunch of shit.
It's true. You block yourself out from learning.
Yeah. Just switch big spinning.
One day Kelly will do a hippie jump.
Still haven't done one.
I'll do a slappy. Kelly do a hippie jump.
A hippie
We'll be
jump?
well on our way.
Never
He's
done
never
one.
done one.
Have you tried?
Nope.
It is the easiest fucking trick ever.
Yeah.
I don't know. I just haven't.
No.
This is the discussion I feel like all the time. I feel like I just still say the same thing.
You can't eat pizza if you don't try pizza. Like, what if you love it?
There you go.
Maybe, see, that's going to be a good thing. When I get older, then I'll start.
And I'm not trying to say hippie jumps are like pizza.
No, I,
I was like,
To be clear.
totally.
But it might be for you. Who knows?
You could be doing 360 hippie jumps pretty soon.
That'd
could
be
be
sick.
into it.
yeah. Tom Penny.
Tom
style,
Penny, yeah.
try.
There you go. There you go. How old were you when you were doing this whole, like the Baker thing? When you first got on Baker, it was later on, right?
Yeah, it's probably 16 or 17 or
okay.
between 16 and 18.
A couple years, right?
It's a big window.
It's a,
Yeah.
Were they filming for like Baker 2G or something at that point in time?
No, it was like after Baker 2G.
Oh, it was after.
Things were,
Okay.
things were going for Baker. And it was the beginning of Baker 3.
Yeah.
And after this is skateboarding, then we got into Baker 3.
Great video. Baker 3. My God.
Dun, 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 dun.
Oh my God. I love that shit.
You know what? Those guys are, they make great videos. Andrew, like Beagle, Andrew,
Kill it.
Dustin does a lot of that too.
He does a lot of the editing too, right? Doesn't he?
He had his little hands in there for sure.
That's cool.
Yeah, I wouldn't even have guessed Dustin
Yeah.
would have been that guy.
Yeah,
But he is.
But like Beagle's eye, capturing all that stuff.
Totally.
Watching him in action all these years, like he's a special person.
for sure.
and he has a like great eye for that stuff. And then the way Andrew puts it together, like
Right.
it's a shame because I think those videos are great. And over the years, I don't really watch them because I'm in them.
Oh, really?
And I'm starting to think maybe that's a little bit silly too.
Yeah, you should
because
pop
it's
'em in.
great stuff and it's all my friends ripping and stuff. Like I
Exactly.
could skip my part or whatever. Like
Oh, no, you got to relive that.
it's cool to relive it every once in a while. Yeah,
Sure. So Baker 3 comes out. Are you pro at this time?
Let's see. I do know when I turned pro. I turned pro on my 19th birthday, but I do not know if that was before or after Baker 3. I think I was still am.
You still am.
Baker 3 and then shortly after that.
Turn you
I
pro.
want to say Baker 3 came out. I think we were like 20 or something like that.
2005.
2005, yeah.
So you were pro when that came out. We're all learning something new. There. This is a breakthrough. This is great.
I mean, who does it matter? I
No,
don't
it doesn't matter. It doesn't matter at all. That's why I never sit in that chair because I can't remember shit. I'm like the worst memory
Yeah,
ever. I'm like, yeah, they turned me pro. I don't know, whatever.
I'm not really sure why my memory is so bad. Like, I didn't like smoke a ton of crack or whatever. Like, I partied, I experimented a lot.
Sure.
But I just think it was like, I don't know, my memory card's like not that big. There's like some cool songs in the iPod, but it's like, it's a shuffle.
Things happened so fast back then too, you know?
Dude, I was running on adrenaline from 16
Sure.
to 29.
So Baker 3 comes out now from the America video and the Baker 3 video.
That must have been a big breakthrough for you, though. That video, the America video.
That was your first major video, right?
Yeah, that's when things got
Okay.
yeah, things were getting crazy around then.
I just remember like watching that part, like how this kid have like choose this song, and have so much soul the way he skates,
Well, I appreciate that. But yeah, I was definitely like super into The Cure and all that stuff, but that was like because it was the iPod days where you could just get somebody's whole library, and I was just a sponge soaking up that stuff from Andrew and Minor and Justin Regan and all those dudes were just like, and I mean, skateboarding is always doing that for us, but I had some like really a lot of
good influence.
cool access to great stuff.
Sure. Right around there, did you notice like a difference in people's reaction to you and stuff?
Yeah, it was after this is skateboarding.
Yeah.
Things were like, I felt it was a small group, and I felt like I was a part of the group.
Sure.
Like I was in.
Right.
And that was crazy. And I was just like living with Andrew and those dudes, and we were just rolling around. Herman and I were inseparable, and we were traveling the world, like literally just on the fucking road.
Right.
Little kids, like.
Wow.
Did you ever live with the mansion?
Yeah.
You did?
Yeah, well, I just, at that point, I was like kind of leaving high school and not officially out of the house, but I would come to LA and just stay at the mansion.
Yeah.
We had our little room and stuff.
Did you graduate high school?
No,
No. Dropped out.
dropped out. Dropped
Okay.
out.
What grade?
I think in 10th grade, I started going to, or 11th grade, I started going to homeschool. And that's when maybe we were just on the road. We were skating so much, and like I was that first year of really traveling. There was like 11 different countries in 1 year of like getting my passport.
It's pretty psycho to think about. Like they're just putting like a 16-year-old kid to work that hard.
It's the time that it's happening now,
yeah.
right? So many skaters
Yeah.
don't graduate at high school.
The homeschool teacher was like, "Do your work when you get back from tour," and I was like, "Sick.
You're like,
I'll be back in 3
okay.
years."
Yeah.
Later.
And then she just called and was like, "It's the same thing if you get your GED."
GED. Okay.
And then I did not get my GED.
No GED.
Yet.
Yet.
Whoa.
Yet.
Okay.
Yet.
Okay.
I've been studying for a long time.
I'm sure you'll pass. I'm sure you'll pass.
It'd be funny to film that process.
It'd be funny for all of us to take the GED just to see how we do.
I'll probably fail for sure.
Yeah. I mean, I graduated high school, but I don't think I'd do that well.
I hear it's pretty easy.
Oh my God. If they have like times tables on there, I'm going to fail. Like I'm so bad at
Let's
math.
try it. No studying.
No studying.
No studying. Just straight in.
Take the G. We'll
See
each,
if we can
Jump
pass.
in.
we'll get like 4 desks and just take the GED. Can we get our hands on that? How do we do that?
It's probably
sure
online.
We'll take the GED. We'll take it with you.
Let's do
So
it.
you have some
Hopefully there's
company.
a Etch-a-Sketch section.
Oh yeah, there you go. There you go. Now speaking, because I was going to bring this. Speaking of the etch in sketch,
Etch a sketch.
etch a sketch. How the hell did you get into this etch a sketch? It's
I
not
know.
a fun
It's
toy.
No, and it's a weird thing to. And when you ask it like that, I'm like, yeah, that is a weird thing to get into.
Right.
You're really good at it.
Thank you.
Got a talent.
I appreciate that.
I wonder if they have etch a sketch contests.
They
Ever
probably
looked
did,
into
for
that?
sure.
Yeah.
So I like shit like that. I like tweaky little tedious. I was always drawing. I've always
Photoshopping.
been
You're a
Photoshop,
good
like
Photoshopper.
things. Yeah, things. Thank you. Things that
I've seen your work.
things that I guess are a little bit painstaking and meticulous. I'm drawn to them for whatever reason.
Okay.
And I at that point I don't think I even knew that about myself, but I think that my mom had got me one, and I just had it laying around, and I picked it up on the way out, like threw it in a bag to like
Gotcha.
maybe I'll fuck with this
Like on a
thing.
tour or
like-
something.
yeah, I remember the tour it was on. It was on this Baker Summer tour, not that long ago.
Oh, okay.
Probably 4 years ago.
Oh,
or
so this is
something
like a
that.
recent
Yeah.
development. This is like
Yeah.
oh wow.
And then I remember because I was
Development,
like, I think the very first one that I messed with on the little Etch-a-Sketch,
Mm-hmm.
I posted it, and it was like when I first got on Instagram too.
Okay.
And I just was like, I posted it, and it was whatever, not very detailed, but some people, I think because it's such a recognizable thing,
Absolutely.
everyone's like messed with it, and
They
so
know
people
how hard it really is.
yeah, everyone's been tortured by it.
Yeah.
So like people have an emotional response to that. They're like, that's fucking crazy.
Totally.
And then I was like making little flyers for the demos on it.
Oh.
And I think like just getting a little bit better each time. And I was like, oh, I like this thing. It's fun. Keep it in the van. I was like, oh, I can draw when it's when you're moving and it's bumpy. You can like still do it.
You're not going to mess up like if
Yeah.
you're drawing with a pen.
Yeah.
Right.
And you don't have to like keep a bunch of stuff and then just
yeah, you
erase
shake
it.
it.
and-
I draw stairs, one's just little stairs, and then that's it.
Yeah,
and I delete
I've
it.
seen your work.
Yeah, I showed you before the show.
Yeah, I
Oh.
did like 20 first try.
20 stairs with the hubba going out. Yeah, can't
all
forget about
there.
the hubba.
How
Bizarre.
exactly does that thing work?
It's like a wire system.
You ever broken one open and checked it out? I
Yeah.
would have. Oh, you did.
Yeah. I
Okay.
have. In an attempt to like make them permanent, because here's the thing:
Oh.
it's filled with dust
Mm-hmm.
and like these little metal balls and stuff. And when you're using these things,
The turny things, the knobs.
the turny knobs.
Yeah.
A little stylus is scraping away the dust,
dust.
and creating that black line, from what I understand.
Oh.
And then when you shake it, the dust covers the screen again. And so when you take it open, there's a little thing moving, a little stylus that's going like this.
So it's almost a reverse magnet, because you've seen the ones where you draw within it and it pulls the magnet shavings up towards it like a
Yeah.
Wooly Willy.
Yeah, yeah.
You ever seen those?
Yeah.
Yeah.
The response time to where if you're like creating something, it's interesting because you're kind of like that. For instance, I was just making little flyers for the next demo
Right,
stuff,
posting
But
them.
then you're seeing, and this is like for better or for worse, you're seeing a reaction to what you're making. And so it could really, in that case, I think it kind of encouraged me to keep doing it,
keep at
because
it.
like the reaction was like disproportionate to what I thought I was making because of whatever this thing is. And so that's just something that happens. And,
Yeah.
but that's a cool thing because I really enjoy doing it.
Mm-hmm.
And I think I probably would have still done it anyway, but it's nice when you accidentally get pushed into doing something
Sure.
like that.
One more question about that, Jessica. Is there any way to preserve it? Because like you said, like if you do something amazing and you throw it in your bag, you can't do that. It's going to get, the dust is going to settle.
Yeah, you can do it, but that process is like the different kind of painstaking that
Yeah,
I don't like.
Right.
And so you can do it. I've given some as gifts, and you basically like drill holes in the back, and or you can like take the back off
Gotcha.
and
Remove all the dust.
remove all the dust. And I'm sure there's
Oh.
people who are really into this that are like, that's easy. All you do is this
This
and
and-
that.
right.
But I just lose interest the second I'm done with it.
You're like,
Yeah.
God damn, thank God I'm done with
And
that.
it's not this like truly Zen thing because I take a photo of it usually.
Right.
And so I'm not claiming that it's like all about just doing it, but I am sort of compulsively making things all the time like this, so it just fits into that.
It's just weird that it's art that can just disappear.
Are there any other have you looked into it online, like other artists out there that do that?
Yeah, there's people who do it.
Has anyone reached out to you about doing stuff like that? Like,
No.
No?
I mean, people are all the time like, you need to get sponsored by Etch a Sketch. But it's like they're $7.
Right.
And I'm not using them all the time.
Can you imagine getting a box of these?
But
I
dude,
know,
you're
right?
making it so much more relevant now. I haven't seen one for a long time,
Yeah.
and then now I see it because I see you doing it, and that's pretty awesome, dude. They could use you.
Why the little ones though?
The little
Why
one,
not the big ones? Make a big piece.
I don't know. It's just more. It's like more practical for doodling. But I have used the big ones. I've used like a couple times, but it's just the line just comes out better on these. I find
Okay.
the line on a bigger screen. It's like the same size line, so you're not getting. It's not like the.
It's more squarish, right? It's like square kind of
It's a
pixels.
thinner line on the bigger screen.
No, yeah, exactly. It's just us. It just looks. It appears smaller.
Okay.
The line itself. So
Got
it's like
you.
the work. It feels like exponentially harder to get a solid image on there.
Right. Let's keep going on this Etch a Sketch. This is pretty good. This is pretty good. This is good stuff.
Okay,
here.
let's.
This is,
we've lost 90% of the.
They'll be back. They'll be back. You could skip on YouTube now and just skip. Done.
Cool.
But let's go back into the Baker thing. So you're on Baker America. Everything's going well. Baker 3 comes out. Boom.
Party time.
Party time. Right?
Yeah.
You got in
Like
it.
yeah. Before during Baker 3 even. Yeah.
This is what you're 18, 19, right?
Yeah.
You're young.
I think when I was like 19,
Oh.
I waited a bit. I didn't even drink at all, and then when I was 19, no, it must have been before that. Sorry, probably 18 or 17. I don't even know.
Right.
But I was let's say I was 18.
Go ahead. That's perfect. Yeah. It's a good age.
I was on a trip in south of France, Nice,
Oh.
in the hills.
Very nice.
With awesome group of like a pretty randomly picked group for a skateboarder magazine
Oh, dope.
on video trip.
Oh.
Pete Eldridge was there. Peter Ramondetta was there.
Wow.
Who else? Bulala, The Butcher, Scott Johnson.
Oh, shit.
That is yeah.
Yeah,
It was
random crew right there.
It was a sick crew. Wow. It was such a cool trip, and it was back when they just kind of did trips. You want to go here? There's a random group of guys going here.
So melee shooting or
No, it was
Mary?
Oliver. Ollie was shooting, and yeah, it was a sick ass trip. But anyway, we were in a bar up on a hill, and it was beautiful. And someone was like, "Here's a beer," and I was just like, "This is the spot, I guess." And
Yeah.
I was
Let's do this.
I like looked around. I was like, "I think it's time to
I think it's time.
try this out."
Right.
A little late to the party, but
a little early, 18.
yeah,
I don't even think that's early, though. I think a lot of kids
No, I
at
didn't-
15,
yeah,
16, they start,
Like I was
messing
super
around.
square in high school. I was
Oh,
like
yeah?
I was pretty anti.
Just strictly skate.
Yeah, just skate.
Well, it's cool. I mean, when you're in Europe too, like this totally legal there for kids that age. To
Well,
be
that's the
drinking,
thing
too.
is parents give their kids wine at dinner and stuff.
Yeah.
You know? It's a culture thing.
Yeah, I mean, maybe it was something like it seemed like there wasn't a stigma against me drinking or something like that, but I don't think that was really what kept me away from it up until then.
Right.
However, whatever the reason, that's
Who's the one that gave you the beer? Huh? The butcher?
Throw
Or
him on the bus.
Scott Johnston, maybe.
Probably
it could have been Scott, dude. I don't know. I think maybe just somebody ordered around, and
Sure.
it was like one for me.
Okay.
I remember you could get a shot from a bottle of, I'm assuming rum or something that Hemingway drank from. He drank from that bottle, and you
Really?
yeah. And
They just keep filling it up.
Yeah.
probably,
That's why
probably.
you drank from Hemingway's bottle.
I did not. I just had a Heineken.
Oh, you did?
I think it was probably
Okay.
pretty expensive.
Okay.
But the fact that he drank in that bar already was like
That's
pretty-
amazing.
Yeah.
And you liked it.
The beer?
Yeah.
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 I kept it. I remember keeping it like pretty mellow for a bit, and I was like, no. I'm like not into getting drunk. I just
Have a beer.
like sometimes I came back and like talked to Andrew, and Andrew's like, I heard you had a beer. What's up?
Oh.
And I was like, yeah, but I don't get drunk. I just like have a couple. And then I went to New York, and like probably the first trip to New York, and then I was like, I felt like there was no parents, and I was just in bars going
To like
crazy
4 a.m.
till 4 in the morning,
Yeah.
and then then I just
It was over.
it was over.
But at the time, Reynolds and them, they were already in it, right? They were already doing their.
Yeah,
They were already-
he cleaned up and was sober, and
Oh, he already had it cleaned up by that
yeah,
point.
yeah,
Ah,
he was
okay,
pretty newly
okay.
sober. Yeah,
Oh, so he was actually so he was worried about you. He'd already he was
he
saying,
was just like, oh, I recognize this look.
sure.
No, but he was mellow about it. Like everyone's like got to go through their own
Exactly.
thing, and they were very aware of that. But I did have a lot of positive male role models who were cleaning their act up at that time.
Gotcha.
So it was like that. I'm sure that was part of it.
Mm-hmm.
At a point, I was pretty anti when I was a teenager, and then I just like had all these guys that were not partying, and I was like, that's who I kicked it with hard.
Yeah.
And then Scott Johnson.
Scott Johnson of all people. Mr. Clean.
Yeah.
Exactly.
Yeah, it wasn't Bilal.
It was Scott Johnston. But listen, I like throughout the year, like I don't know if you like hit it well or anything, but I never really considered you. Like I would never look in, 'cause some of the other guys during the whole piss drunks thing and everything.
They're partiers, yeah.
They're partiers, and you
Yeah.
never really struck me as like this guy who was like, partying pretty hard.
Yeah. Well, I mean, I think at times I did a certain amount of hiding it, but I think it was also just not. I didn't have any interest in like playing it up. I didn't think it was like, maybe it wasn't that I was hiding it, but I wasn't like wearing it on my sleeve, and that was not really my identity,
Right.
so to speak.
Right.
That piss drunks thing was dead or not dead, but it was like not going the same way.
Exactly.
And I don't know, I was just off on my own thing. Like my party vibes were very separate from my skate vibes.
Were you partying and skating at like the same time, or could you only
Yeah.
just party?
No, I mean, it worked great for a while. Like seriously, I mean, not that I was just fucking killing it, but
Sure.
I felt fine, and I felt like for a bit there was a little window where it's like you start getting hangovers, and they're like you feel like loosened up, and you're not like overthinking things. You're like, oh, dude, like skating hungover is the best, and I was just like, I didn't feel like. I just loved drinking. Like I did all the way through. Like my whole drinking career, I loved it.
You were 100%.
Yeah.
You were all in.
And I hear people who say the same thing that you do. They're like, dude, you didn't seem
Yeah.
like you were like out of control. And then
Totally.
and then I'll hear other things from friends that were like kind of in a different context, and they're like, yeah, dude, you're a fucking mess, like a booze sponge.
Wow.
That was just like, yeah, I don't know. I think sometimes I could like hold it, and then other times I was just like face down, and that was like awesome
Sure.
too. I loved that.
Right.
But either way, I was kind of flooring it the whole time.
I mean, even as skateboarders, though, you know, everybody goes in parties. There's the premieres, and there's, you know what I mean? Like,
Yeah.
you getting drunk somewhere at something is not really a big deal.
Yeah.
People don't look
Yeah,
into
yeah,
it, you know?
Well, I'm in some ways I can be pretty shy, and
Sure.
at a skateboard party, I'm not like the
Life of the party.
Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah.
Right. I'm right there
Those
with
things
you.
have always
Yeah.
kind of freaked me out.
Try to get out of there as soon as I can.
I'm trying to come out of my shell though. Now.
Yeah?
Yeah.
Okay. Were you waking up drinking, or like how severe was this?
Yeah, at times.
Yeah?
Yeah. At times there was like, I mean, I didn't see the need to like deal with a hangover, so I was like,
Drink a
Beer
beer.
the dog.
Right.
yeah, that works
But
great.
would that also, like, you know, you wake up and drink, would that make you not want to skate that day? Maybe
Yeah,
you're
absolutely.
you're getting drunker and drunker as the day goes on.
What happened is that I just lost a bunch of years just kind of
Right.
floating along, and this shouldn't be some sort of sob story, because I look back at a lot of that fondly, and I had a great
Great time. You loved
I
it.
had great time.
Yeah.
really, really fun shit happened. But I love skateboarding, and I was not doing both very well after a while. I was not skating much, and if I was like I kind of had to drink to skate. And it just was like at a certain point I had like a lot of requirements to like get me into the zone, and that was getting exhausting. And I just was like falling out of love with a lot of things, and I think I just needed a break or something. I mean, a lot of stuff happened.
Sure.
A whole bunch of shit, but none of it was like, none of it felt like, fuck, this sucks, I need a way out, you know? Like, I just was like slowly losing time and passion.
And what I heard too was like Neckface and Jerry Sue came to you, right? And gave you a little intervention.
Yeah, Neck, Jerry, and sorry, I'm still going through puberty.
Go ahead. Go ahead.
Jerry, and Tino
Razzo. Sick.
My pals and my drinking buddies. Okay. We were like going out to dinner. I was like, yes, this is sick. And basically they did like a soft intervention, and they were like, yo, you're kind of blowing it. And I was like, fuck, I did not see this coming, but you're right.
But they're your drinking buddies as well. Did you look at them like, well, what are you talking about? You're me. Like, you guys are drinking too. Like,
no, it just wasn't that thing. It didn't feel, I didn't feel like in a corner or anything. Like, I felt like they were looking out for me, which they were. Like, it wasn't easy for them to do that kind of thing. That shit sucks.
Sure.
And in my life before that, I dealt with being on the other side of that conversation.
Right.
And it's like fucking heartbreaking. So
totally.
I took it very seriously because I respect those guys so much, and like I knew that it was hard for them, and it was hard for me, but like, man, I wanted something else when they kind of like put a light onto things.
So they almost did it at the right time. Like,
They
you
did it at
were
a
ready in
perfect
your
time.
own mind, and with them coming to you, like,
Yeah.
to put you over the top.
Dude, it was
You were
it was perfect timing because I needed something else, and I didn't know there wasn't this like deep rock bottom that was gonna push me to make that decision, but I wanted something different.
Gotcha.
Did that conversation happen after Baker took your board away?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean,
Oh,
like
gotcha,
a whole bunch of shit happened between.
And you also got burned as well.
Yes.
So Baker took your board away.
Yeah.
America took everything
Yeah.
away also. So you lost your sponsors.
Yeah.
Pretty much.
Things fizzled.
Was the conversation when they took your board away? Because I could imagine that, not that it happens all the time, but it does happen where pros get they're kind of going out of control, and sponsors kind of pull back because they almost don't want to contribute to paying you to go get wasted, in a sense. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Was there a conversation with Reynolds like, hey, we're going to take this away, but maybe, if you clean yourself, we could talk, get it back maybe.
I think there was maybe some of that.
Yeah.
I can't remember.
Too
Right. That's right. Dude, I remember, I don't know. Fuck, dude. I don't know if it was the Baker one or the America one, but one of those meetings where they were like, meet me at Starbucks, and I was like, fuck, I'm about to get the boot. I knew it
right away.
But I seriously, one of those meetings, I was like scrubbing paint off of my face, like from the night before, like just... Was it like I was raging to where I'd wake up just like fully painted?
Like,
I was just like, what? Look in the mirror, like, fuck, I gotta go get kicked off. I gotta get this spray paint off my face.
I gotta bathe in turpentine or whatever that shit is.
Yeah, I think it was like your epically later or whatever, like the one where they talk about you getting burnt by Neckface, where you were covered in like silver spray paint.
Yeah.
And then I think you went into like talking about like having to meet Heath at Starbucks.
Yeah. See,
Oh,
I've already
okay.
told this story.
Okay.
But yeah,
So you got kicked off first and then got burned?
I think so.
Huh.
I don't know why I keep looking at you. Like,
Because he knows everything. We all look towards
it was
Raj.
all kind of around
the same
that
time.
same time. And those guys, it wasn't like, dude, you're fucking off. It was like a soft thing. Andrew was like, well, you, Braden, Shane, we have to like cut the team down.
Right.
And Andrew and I have been really, really close. Like we'd been friends for a really long time, and we weren't like hanging out every day because I wasn't out skating, but we were still like that was tough.
Right.
But I was like, dude, I love Baker and I care about it, and I just didn't feel. I just understood. I had no self-esteem about my skateboarding for a long time. I was not working for it, and I wasn't doing anything, and I don't think that I've ever been like technically crazy enough or like doing big enough shit to be. I'm just not that guy that like I needed to be like, no, you need me because of what I did back then. Like I was always just kind of in the room like, how did I get here?
Yeah.
So I was like, dude, yeah, all right.
That's it, yeah.
Whatever, good ride. It was
Sure.
great.
Sure.
Let's party.
Let's dope. Yeah. Keep
But
keep
then
it
I was
going.
like, fuck, dude, I don't know what to do now. And I got set on fire.
Yeah.
That was pretty hectic.
Neckface was lighting your t-shirt or something
Yeah.
when you I've done it before where you know socks or something, you light it and then it kind of goes on fire a little bit. Yeah.
What happened? You burned like your whole body, or
Yeah, when my shirt caught on fire and it like went, I just lit the fuck up.
You combusted.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And
The paint didn't help either.
no, the paint didn't help.
Probably what set it all off.
Yeah.
Right.
Who knows what was like in the vicinity.
Sure.
Yeah.
But whatever, we were fucking around.
Right.
I got set on fire. Nick and Leo, our friend Leo Fitzpatrick was there staying on my couch, and they put me out and burned my armpit, body, ribs zone, really bad.
Was it your head too?
No, they took.
Oh, they took grafts,
Yeah.
skin grafts from your head.
Yeah.
Ah, what a weird place. Usually, don't they do it like take you some butt,
Yeah.
butt skin?
Yeah, what happened was that I had been in it, and I've kind of told this story, so forgive me if you've heard it.
No.
But it was a pretty interesting operation actually, because I was like, I learned a lot about being burned.
Right.
First of all, it just didn't seem that bad. I just had some burns on me, and I was not like, oh fuck, like this is
I got to go there.
this is crazy. I'm first getting kicked off now. It was just like it was not any. It didn't seem like a big deal. I just had some burns on my body.
That was it.
Yeah, and then I remember walking to urgent care. I couldn't put a shirt on, but I was like, I walked to urgent care, and they were like, they tried to bandage me up, and I was supposed to go on Skate Rock in Australia 2 days later.
Wow.
And they're like, you need a tetanus shot, and you need bandages, and we need to clean it out. You're pretty fucked up, but you'll be good.
Okay.
I was like, sweet. They gave me some painkillers. Not like my favorite thing, but I'm down also.
Sure.
Like back then. And then, my dad, he was like, you gotta, he burned his hands. He's done like construction and stuff. And he burnt his hands roofing. And he was like, burns are crazy. It's like you just don't know. Let me like take you to the specialist.
Oh.
And he like came and picked me up. He probably knew that I was just going to get on a flight. And he was like, my dad is the fucking best. Like he just got in the car and he was like, he's not overbearing in any way. Like he would not do that unless he'd burned his own hands and known.
Sure.
So he just was like, let me take you to the thing.
Did you send him photos of it? And like, because if you're just explaining it over the phone, you're like, oh, I went to the urgent care. They just bandaged it up.
Yeah, he was just like, and I think I said this before, but honestly, I remember it so clearly. I called him and I was like, Neckface set me on fire. And then he was like, was it a blowtorch?
He obviously knows Neckface.
Yeah. They're like, they are homies. Like they have their own relationship. And he was like, shit, was it a blowtorch? I was like, no, it wasn't a blowtorch. But like, whatever. I got lit up, Dad.
Yeah.
Like, I'm fucked.
Wow.
And he was like, all right, you should really take this seriously. And I'm like, I got it. They cleaned me. They gave me a shot. I'm good.
Right.
He's like, yeah, let me help you out.
Okay.
Came and took me, and then I had to go. The place that they took me, they're like, yeah, we can take you in here. And then I was there for 2 weeks, quarantined, no leaving, no.
It's like a burn unit.
Burn unit, crazy. Like, dude, you couldn't bring flowers in there. Like I was like, fucking, because you're so
acceptable to.
Yeah, there's a few things. One, you're super susceptible to.
That's the word I was looking for. Acceptable. You're super acceptable.
You're acceptable.
Yeah.
I was acceptable enough to get accepted into there, but I was susceptible to germs and things.
Right.
And so it's a super sterile environment.
Wow.
And they put me on a lot of drugs because I thought I was fine, but the pain had yet to set in till days later because I burned all my nerves off.
Oh, jeez.
Wow.
So I was gonna get on a plane and
Could you imagine?
yeah,
getting on that plane?
They literally said I would have gone into shock on the plane because that's when it would have set in.
Jesus
Oh, my
Christ,
God.
bro.
And so yeah, I went in and it was a process. But yeah, you were asking why the head.
Yeah.
But somewhere in that process of fucking crazy shit going down,
Mm-hmm.
it was towards the end, and they were like, "Okay, here's the thing: we're gonna do the final skin graft." They already had put dead people's skin on my body and taken it off. Cadaver skin.
Yeah.
Taking it off, and then they're like, "Okay, we can put skin from your leg.
Sure.
We're gonna have to take a bunch of skin, or we can take a little strip from your head." And it's more vascular and it'll work better. You're going to love it. You're going to look great.
Your rib cage is going to be nice and flowy with hair.
Yeah, and they're like, we're going to give you a sick ass haircut. You're going to look like fucking Skrillex and you're going to be stoked.
There you go, right.
And I was like, I don't know who that is, but whatever.
Let's go for it. Right.
And they, I was just like, dude, I wanted to get out
Sure.
of there quicker. I wanted to heal up quicker.
Mm-hmm.
And I had already been through such fucking hell. To be honest, it was just, I'd been through so much pain and stuff that I was like, what, dude?
Do whatever you
Whatever.
do.
Like, take some skin from my head.
Sure.
Seriously, at that point, I was such like it was just whatever.
It's a lot. It's a lot to handle.
It was a lot. And like, I've told this story a lot of times,
Mm-hmm.
which it sort of like takes the trauma away from it. And but it was I think a year or two ago I realized like I guess that was like a pretty traumatic experience. Like,
I mean, it sounds like it.
Yeah.
They
It
don't
was-
keep you in a hospital for 2 weeks unless,
Yeah, like,
unless
it was
it's-
gnarly.
Right? Did you ever go ahead?
Are they just taking layers of skin, or are they taking like a chunk of skin to your skull almost, and then sewing you back up?
that's the thing. They sold it as like a little. They're just gonna like scrape a little thing off
Yeah.
my head and give me a cool haircut.
Right.
But they fucking ripped into that fucker and
Oh.
like scalped me.
Yeah.
Half C's.
half your
C's,
skull.
Yeah. And they ripped that thing off.
Hair still looks good, by the way.
Thank you.
Hair looks great.
Yeah.
Thanks. It took a while. And I just ran it. I ran the half.
You ran the
for
half.
a
Okay.
bit.
Right. Well, what else can you do? You can't wear a wig.
Could have shaved my head
That's
or something.
true.
I don't know.
That's true.
But I ran with it.
So they took a good amount of skin from your scalp.
Mm-hmm.
Skin's in 3 layers, right? Is three layers of skin?
Something like that, yeah.
Something like that.
I have like 5.
You have 5. Lucky you. Well, all worked out. Did you ever think? Because here's my thought. Right? I'm stupid. Maybe. And I think, okay, they're going to take skin from my head. Maybe I'll grow hair there in my arm, on my chest.
Yeah.
Did you ever think that?
Yeah.
You did.
Sometimes
okay.
a weird hair comes up and I'm like,
Oh, really?
who are you?
Maybe one strand of hair comes out.
Yeah.
Pluck it.
Smells like Jameson. It's like, it's raging.
I don't know. You just think of these stupid things, you
Nah.
know? Like, oh, I'm going to grow hair now and I got to shave now.
Yeah.
Were you like
No,
you were wide awake when they were taking it off too?
Of my head?
Yeah.
No, I was
Oh.
knocked out.
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
No, they were like pretty intense surgeries.
What was the recovery time after the 2 weeks was all done? You got out of there. Could you go skate again or drink or do whatever you were doing?
I was like pretty fucked up for a while and my tail was between my legs. So I wasn't like really trying to like go
Okay.
rage right away.
Sure. Were you missing the drinking? Were you going through maybe a little detoxing when you were
So crazy. I was fucking, all I wanted to do was smoke.
cigarettes?
Cigarettes.
That's it.
Like I didn't really care about anything but smoking. And I've since quit.
Okay.
But yeah, that was like, dude, that was a shocking realization that that's all I fucking cared
That's
about.
crazy.
Yeah.
So drinking wasn't a big deal, it was just smoking.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But
Did you ever think to quit drinking after you got out of all that?
It didn't really occur to me like that.
okay.
I must have ran through my brain like, yo, it's time to pump the brakes.
Sure.
But that can be tricky because you think you're doing that, but you're just kind of like fooling yourself. And
Where you're just thinking, I can't party with Neckface that hard.
yeah, well,
Yeah, with pain in hand.
Yeah.
no, I mean, also, I'm sure most people who know us know that it was a complete accident,
Yeah.
and
Yeah,
Neckface and I quickly started partying again.
Okay, got you.
Just with less lighters and
And paint.
yeah,
Wow, what an ordeal.
yeah,
I mean, I'd heard about it, and I think you talked about it in your Epically. I mean, but that's a lot of shit to go through, bro. I mean,
Yeah.
2 weeks of hospital surgery,
Yeah.
skin grafts.
Especially at that time
It's a
in your
lot.
life where work or sponsors are about to go out too.
Yeah.
yeah. I'll say a lot of things.
Shit hit the fan.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Like my mom passed away.
Oh, wow.
And then this was all kind of like in a chunk of time, but it was like this was like I guess the dark period.
The dark- right, the
like
low
that was hard. That was really hard on me.
Wow.
And so although I was like trying to pump the brakes and stuff, I was like also there was a lot of emotions that I wasn't capable of dealing with at that time. So
Yeah,
I
you
was
needed
kind of
a-
like getting lost in that too.
Right.
And I just wasn't like addressing any of those things at the time, and they were kind of piling on pretty heavily.
How does one address that type of stuff, though? There's no handbook for addressing things.
Yeah, I mean,
you
that's-
know, it's like, how did some people, like the drinking may have been a coping mechanism.
Yeah,
you know, it
certainly was
How do you
for
don't
a lot of
know. How do you
things.
do?
Well, that's why I was so fortunate that those guys were like, yo, you need some. Eventually, those
Right.
guys that we talked about, Nick, Jerry, and Tino,
Yeah.
were like, some needs to switch up. You know, you're not killing it. Like whatever aspects of me that shine, were not really shining, and so like they gave me the opportunity to try something new.
Right.
And sometimes with something like that is that you just need to try something new to get the ball rolling on some other shit. And really, like, it switched some shit up, and that was like the beginning. And then I don't know, you're always like learning how to deal with the things that happen in your life.
Totally.
And it's not like that was the solution to every one of my problems, but it started helping me look at things different and acting different. And
You saw that things were turning around for you.
yeah, it gave me the opportunity to like change my path.
Sure. I try to get Raj to change his path. He won't do it.
I'm on a pretty good path.
Pretty good. Okay. Okay.
When you had that meeting or when you had that little intervention, did you stop right then?
No.
Was that in New York?
The-
Tino's in New York, isn't he?
No, he had already
Yeah.
moved. He had.
Oh, has he moved here?
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
He had moved here, and no, it wasn't right away. I was like, Thanksgiving's coming up, and then I got this trip to Hawaii, and I went out. You know, I was like,
Got a Christmas party.
Yeah.
New Year's coming.
but I did set a goal for myself, and I was like, I'm going to go on this Ruka trip to Hawaii, and when I come back, I'm done.
You're done.
And then I just like partied hard in Hawaii, but it wasn't like, it was just the kind of partying that
Normal.
I always
Right.
done, which is like flooring it.
Sure.
I was going.
Yeah.
But it wasn't anything out of the ordinary. And then I like, yeah, I stopped.
You went cold turkey.
Yeah, I was done. I knew I was done.
Did you go to rehab at all or anything like that?
No.
No?
AA meetings?
I didn't just white knuckle it, as they say. Like, I didn't just go like, I decided and I quit. Like, I did pretty much a 12-step program, but not AA. And I went to therapy and did all these
Okay.
things that I had wanted to
Yeah.
do for a really long time.
How was therapy? I hear good things about therapy.
I'm a big fan.
Yeah.
And I wasn't like driven to therapy and was like, I can't figure my life out. Like, there's a huge stigma. Maybe it's less these days, but yeah, people think like you go to therapy when you're nuts, when you're
Crazy.
broken,
Yeah, sure.
or whatever. And I think of it as, to me, that's a privilege, and I had the opportunity to do it, and I
Yeah.
wanted to do it for a while, just to like, I mean, life is fucking crazy, And like
Tell me about
everyone that I know has been through some crazy shit, and like, and it's hard to unpack that all. Like, sometimes you go on a podcast and talk about it, but most of the time you're just going through your life and you're finding like
Sure.
a bunch of fucking coping mechanisms along the way. And
Yeah.
So you're a big fan. Big fan.
I'm a fan. Yeah.
Yeah, I'd like to try it. I'd like to just see what it's all about. You know, go and talk to somebody.
I think I think it could be for everyone, and I get why people have an aversion to it.
Yeah.
But straight up, like the people that I know that have been there and have the capability of being honest with themselves and want to like change, and I didn't feel broken, and I don't feel broken, but I feel like I will always in this life be able to hopefully strive to grow.
Sure.
And that's you just can't do it by will alone.
Exactly.
Or in my opinion.
Yeah. No,
Some
no,
people-
you're absolutely
I'm not
right.
that kind of person. I need to explore different options all the time.
For sure. Yeah, explore options. And then does a therapist give you ideas, or are they just there to listen to your...
I mean, I think that there's all different kinds.
Okay, right.
And yeah, I mean, there's like things that they can tell you. There's things that they could recommend trying.
Sure.
There's just talking in that way. They can ask you the right questions to like talk about stuff, but
Help
also
you sort through your thoughts. In a
Yeah.
way.
Yeah.
yeah, help you sort through. Just break a lot of it's like breaking patterns and stuff like that.
True.
I mean, honestly, this all seems a little bit personal, but
I'm sorry. No.
no, not like it just feels weird to talk about all this.
Yeah.
But I think that I think that a lot of people could benefit a lot from this, from therapy, or even just like exploring something new.
Sure.
Because you don't, everybody's like path is so different. I don't look at somebody drinking a beer and think they got to do what I did.
Right.
Like, it's not like that. But there's like a bunch of different ways, and if you are suffering, there's a lot of different things that you could try out.
I agree 100%. Like I said, I'm down to try it, even though I'm perfect.
Yeah.
And, you know, but I just want to see what it's all about.
Works on perfect people too.
Well, how was when you were like you stopped drinking and everything? How did skateboarding like that must have been a big thing for you?
Was there readjustment time to try to learn how to
Skate
skate sober? Yeah.
A little bit, but I mean, I was just out of shape. I was really like, I think it felt like I just had like drank all the muscles in my knees away for a long time. I felt like not capable.
Oh, wow.
Right? And it took a while, but I felt really, really good quickly. And then I put a lot of that extra energy into skateboarding, and there's so much time and energy that you're left with when you take, in my case, that was a big part of my life, so I took that out, and I had a lot of time and a lot of energy, because it fucking takes a lot of time and energy to be a full-time drunk.
Yeah.
And a lot of like resilience, and so it's like I was like banging my head against something for so long, and then I was like, dude, I got all this stuff that I need to figure out. And it didn't work right away to put it into skating, but it was a great place to put it.
Right.
And I could be outside and exercise and skate and fall back deeply in love with something that I had always been in love with, but like fell out of touch with.
Yeah. Wow, it's so interesting. And then you're with all your buddies and having a good time.
Yeah,
It's
I mean,
great,
that was
it's almost therapy in itself.
that was the real
Sure.
therapy, if
Yeah.
we're gonna get very corny about it. But yeah, it really, I mean, I feel that skateboarding remains to be the most therapeutic thing
Totally.
imaginable for me, for those reasons. You get to be with your buds, you get to be outside, you're exercising, you're literally like getting all this, I have all this energy that I need to get out because I'm like fuck crazy ADD. I have that.
But you seem like a really mellow guy, though.
Yeah, I don't know.
Yeah.
It's all up in there.
Sure.
I mean, I feel mellower these days.
Yeah.
Like I've changed a lot, but yeah, there's like, I don't know, there's a lot going on. There's always a lot more under the surface. than
Oh,
you think.
totally.
Yeah.
Totally. You think I'm just chipper here, sitting at this chair, talking to people, huh?
Mine's going nuts.
How long you been sober now?
The last drink I had was almost 5 years ago. In December, it'll be 5 years.
Wow. 5 years. Congratulations, dude.
That went really fast.
Something to be fucking stoked on.
Congratulations, yeah.
Yeah, I'm stoked.
Yeah.
Dude, it was, it's weird. Like I said before, it's a different thing for everybody. I really believe that, like, people are just so complex.
Totally.
And for me, it's been like I'm continuing to learn within it. Mm-hmm. And it's been a trippy experience because I've seen, like, I see different rewards from it continuously.
Right.
Like I'm still feeling like I'm like progressing skating weirdly, like for myself. Like I'm like, oh dude, I look back a year before and I'm like, that was a year ago. I was like still not, like, I'm embarrassed by that almost, not like completely.
Sure.
But that's weird.
I mean, that's 4 years into sobriety. You still feel like that.
Yeah, I feel like that was a surprise to me. I thought that it's like a switch or whatever.
Sure.
It's just on and off. But in my case, not exactly.
Even next year, you'll be even better. You know?
The problem is
something to look forward to.
I don't know if anyone else can tell, but
You're for yourself.
for myself.
Hey,
yeah.
it's important to feel good on your board, though. You know?
Yeah.
You said earlier though that you're like open your mind now to like new tricks that you said you would never do.
Yeah.
Is that what is that like now? Like what tricks do you mean by that?
Do you have a list
A list of tricks that I've learned.
that you want to do?
No, it's not that deliberate. It's just like I never did switch flips. I just I have a mob switch flip. Like,
Okay.
I still know that naturally I was born with switch mob.
Switch mom. Right.
I was born that way. But I do them more and I've approached it differently. And now I'm not at all good at switch kickflips, but I can do them. And I do them differently than I used to do them because I've taken a new approach. But it's funny with something like skateboarding where you can do something so much and you will just do it wrong for your whole life.
Dude,
Right?
for
Like there's
sure.
there's no right way to do it.
Right.
Granted. But it does not occur to me to be like, I should switch flip differently. I was like, I just do this shittily in this way.
Right.
And I was like, oh wait, I can sit here and think for 1 second. I don't have to like sit around and ponder switch flips for the rest of my life.
Yeah.
I can just go like, maybe I'll try it a little differently.
Yeah.
Than when I was 12.
Put my foot over here. And,
Yeah.
Yeah, but sometimes you see somebody else do a beautiful switch flip, and you're like, "Oh, I'm going to try to learn it that way." And it's so hard to try to learn something new that you're, it's like I got to work on switch flips now.
Yeah,
There's a lot of other tricks that I'd rather probably want to do.
It's true, and it's like you want to do it a certain way, and you don't do it that way, so you give it up. You give up on it. But it's just those rules. In my case, I just would like apply them a little bit too heavy-handedly.
Right.
Up until this weekend, I would tell you that I'm not a kickflip frontside lipper. I can't do it. And granted, I could only do it on a curb now, but I'm 34 years old.
Sure.
And I'm learning new tricks all the time.
Yeah.
Because I'm trying them different and...
What, kickflip frontside lip slide you said?
Yeah.
I feel like you would be good at that trick already
know.
because you're really good at frontside flips. But you just
Right?
never
But I
like,
was just like, I don't do that. I don't...
No.
Yeah.
And it's not my thing. The times that I've like tried it, I'm like slam it down too hard or whatever. It's another thing that I'm like just learning is fucking relax. Everything. Like skateboarding, just if I can relax, I can
Breathe.
I can breathe. I
Yeah.
can do it a lot better, but getting to the point where you're relaxing is sometimes very hard.
Totally.
Yeah.
It's the same for a lot of things, but
For sure.
let's not get too philosophical about that. But
Even breathing while you're skateboarding. Like I had just learned
Yes.
that recently too. It's like, sometimes I would notice I would be holding my breath
Yes.
when I would try something. And it's like, let's give a nice little exhale or an inhale, and then do the trick. And you're like, oh, that's nice.
yeah, and that if they kind of go hand in hand, breathing and relaxing.
Yeah.
And it's something that seems so. You hear it as a younger person, and you're like, yeah, whatever, breathe.
Sure.
Cool, I'm doing that all the time.
Yeah.
Easy.
Don't have to think about it.
Another thing that's helped me throughout all that shit was when I started making changes. I started practicing mindfulness meditation
Okay.
and breathing and stuff like that. and that I've been slowly applying it more and more to my lifestyle.
Oh,
Not
wow.
in so much people hear that, and I think that it also has a bit of a stigma, and you think mindfulness meditation, like this guy sits down and like floats and yeah, and it's like spiritual and all these things, which can certainly be a bunch of different things for different people, but
Yeah.
it just kind of that has revolutionized the way I live and bled into my skateboarding. If I gotta be,
Hey, that's great though.
yeah,
That's
it's
great.
Really helped me.
I think a lot of people, if there's a chance that it would help them get better at skateboarding,
Yeah.
they'll try anything.
Dude,
know?
yeah, I mean, maybe I'm not the best spokesperson for it, but like whatever. But it
Alex
is,
practices breathing.
Oh yeah, Alex
Yeah.
Olson.
yeah, it's a thing that seemed like, I don't know, something that I would not be into it. And what I will say about that is that I'm terrible at it, and I don't have the brain that is. I was talking to my neighbor about this today. I don't have a meditative, like, that doesn't come naturally to me. In fact, it's incredibly hard for me to do that.
Yeah.
And I sit down and my mind is racing on a million things, but I find it's very beneficial
Yeah.
for all sorts of things: skateboarding, creativity, socially, being present.
Sure.
All these things, yeah, it helps with that.
So 5 years. That's great, dude. Congrats.
Yeah.
That's
Coming up
amazing,
on
dude. Coming up on 5 years. That's amazing. I bet you have some good stories about good old drinking years and all and all that stuff, huh?
Yeah, I think that I'm pretty fortunate that of course, there's like some shit that I regret doing.
Okay, right.
I'm not gonna say there's like that
You were
I
the
was a
perfect
fucking
drunk. Yeah.
angel drunk.
What's your
or
biggest
something.
regret?
A big regret would be to take this opportunity, like the opportunities that I've had, and sort of not give them their due appreciation and respect, and lose a lot of time and potential.
Yeah.
But that's, again, it's just all part of it. Like, I don't wish that was different. I would never do that again, I hope. And but I wouldn't have the same relationship to the things that I love now if I hadn't gone through those tribulations.
Totally.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But also just, yeah, in general, being not present and just years like speeding by and losing time. Like, time is so precious. There's so much that we can do and like
Totally.
and or miss out on. So although there's such fun shit in that block from 18 to 28 or 9 or whatever,
Yeah.
I don't know exactly, but yeah, man, there's a lot of good times.
Do you want to share a good time with us that you had on the?
I mean, well, here's the thing. Most of the better stories are when it was like maybe not the best time.
Okay.
You know what I mean?
Right.
Like, I'm not gonna like, dude, I saw the sunset and I was like with these babes.
Yeah. Sounds like a pretty good time. Right?
Yeah. I'll tell you some jack shit. Like,
Okay. What do you got? What do you got? What do you got?
everybody's got the story where they're like, I was dosed or something. Like, the one outlier, my outlier in the drunken experiences, because I'll preface by saying I tried a bunch of stuff. Like, I was not like a big drug person, but I tried most of it, and but most of all, I just drank pretty heavily.
Right.
So to have like an experience where like I was dosed doesn't mean like I just drank until I was blacked out or something, because I did that
Okay.
all the fucking time.
Right.
But there's one particular time there was a sales meeting, a Soltex sales meeting.
Oh shit!
It's Don Brown there.
This is in the heyday.
Yeah.
Don Brown is definitely there. And I've only told a couple of my friends this, but so this was like money was flowing in the skateboarding industry.
Sure.
And they used to take us on sales meetings, and this particular sales meeting was in the Bahamas.
Wow.
Whoa!
And they flew us out, a couple of us from America,
Okay.
to be in the Bahamas and schmooze.
Schmooze.
And turn it up.
Sure.
with the reps and distributors.
Oh, yeah.
And I was like, I got that.
And everybody else is there to party too.
Yeah,
I'm sure
like-
Don's doing tough guy shots.
Oh, dude, I was like,
Yeah.
this. I had been to a couple, and it's like, great,
Right.
this is great,
Right up my alley.
Team building, like, let's go. I was like, let's party.
Right.
So I got there, whatever, normal raging, and then one night, I just sort of, I'm pretty sure to this day that somebody fucking put something in my drink.
You got roofied?
No, I did not get roofied because
Or you just tripping balls?
I was tripping fucking balls. Man. Okay.
All you were doing was drinking.
I'm drinking, yeah.
Just drinking?
Yeah, like
Wow.
we're in the Bahamas. We're at like a Senior Fish or something.
Oh, okay.
And maybe Papa some beers or something. I don't know what those places.
Oh,
one of
yeah,
those.
yeah.
One of those. Not Senior Fish. Sorry. What Senior Frogs or
Oh
something.
yeah.
Is that a thing?
Yeah, Senior Frogs is like
Kelly
this-
knows.
Senior fish is by the barrels.
Yeah.
Senior frat boy over there.
Yeah.
He knows.
So I'm at a frat boy place. We're just getting going, and then cut to. I have just flashes in this night. All right.
Okay.
But there's like a flash of me in the hotel room, or a hotel room, like spreading all my goods around, like my wallet and keys and
okay.
things. And I'm in, I don't know, I still don't know whose hotel this was, but I'm just like getting rid of my stuff. Another flash, I'm just a lot of like running full speed, running full fucking speed. And in this like part of the hotel that there's nobody else there.
Okay.
And so like later, like this stuff was corroborated by other people. So like it's not just like all delusion. Like there's a lot of witnesses
Right.
here. Remember, this is like a sales meeting.
Oh, yeah.
So I'm like fucking exploring, and I had a little bit of this in me when I'd get drunk. I'd like to run a lot, and I like to
Oh,
explore.
okay.
So, but I was hauling.
Kelly loves this.
Dude, exploring but running fast as
Yeah,
possible.
I was like finding zones in the hotel, and I was running through them. There was nobody around, and I remember that clearly. I don't remember why I was doing that.
You're alone.
Alone.
Nobody else is running with you.
Dude, as far as I know, like pretty much when I got back to the hotel, like except for seeing like Heath maybe and a couple of the guys at one point, maybe when I was spreading my shit around, I disappeared, right? And then people
Went for a run.
Right.
I was running, right? So then I got reports of like people, everyone just heard the running in the regular floors of the hotel. So people had stories, I don't remember it much, but that they just would hear this noise coming down the fucking thing. Like, bah, 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 bah. And then they would like try and catch it and not see anything. Bah, bah, bah. And eventually they would see like this dude. Here's the thing, guys. I was naked.
The whole
I
time.
had no fucking clothes on, right?
Just streaking.
Streaking. I'm not a naked guy. That wasn't like my
wasn't
thing
your thing at all.
ever. And I'm like crazy, going everywhere, right? And then so like this other dude, this French dude, tells me the next day, he was like, "Wow, I saw you. This was the most insane thing that I've ever seen." He's like, "I saw something, long hotel hallway, right?"
Sure.
He's like, "I see something around the corner," and I'm like shook. And he's like, "I see it coming full speed." Then I see that it's a person, and then I see that it's a naked person, and then I see it's fucking you. And he said he just stops in place, right?
Yeah.
And that I don't recall
remember
I don't
that,
recall this exactly, but this is
took his clothes off?
he told me in all dead seriousness. He looked in my eyes and he was like, "You came towards me, you were running full fucking speed, you never slowed down, you jumped Superman towards me, went through my legs." And he looked at me, he said so seriously, he said, "By the time I turned around, you were gone."
You were gone.
You were gone. I don't know how, like, that's not, I mean, you don't do that when you're roofied. You don't do that when you're wasted.
Right.
Like, I didn't have that.
You were out of your mind.
Kevin
Dude, I was
flashed long.
fucking-
Dude,
And I'm not a drunk guy. I mean, I'm not a naked drunk guy. I was a drunk guy.
You're not a Jeremy Rogers?
No, never.
No,
No.
You would run when you would get drunk though, but just not naked.
Run clothed.
Yeah, clothes. Right.
Yeah.
Maybe not diving through somebody's legs.
And so like how I didn't fucking burn it off in the carpet and stuff. Like jumped through. Like, sure, okay, he might have been exaggerating a bit, but he looked at me like, dude,
Seriously.
you must know this. You did this.
He was probably wasted as well.
Dude, somebody probably put something in his drink.
He looked so serious. I don't know. He didn't look like we had a blast. He was like, dude, what happened?
Yeah, how'd
you do that?
Did you wake up naked,
like, I don't
or
know.
did you?
Okay, so here's the other thing.
Like,
so I guess
Did you find your scattered item? Go ahead.
I guess the security kept grabbing me and putting me back in my room. I don't know how much of it I was naked for.
Okay.
I have this feeling that maybe they put me back, and I was like, okay, I'm done, like
Get
whatever.
undressed.
And I got undressed, and then I had to run again.
Yeah. Oh.
And I bounced because I guess they kept taking me back.
You're like,
to
they
the
won't
hotel.
recognize me if I'm naked.
Maybe, yeah.
This is, I'm going to put on a disguise.
Yeah, it might have been my disguise.
Yeah.
And then
I wonder if there's security cam footage of all that.
Oh my God.
Oh, dude.
Well, this is pre like iPhone, right? This is like, no.
Yeah.
Could you imagine doing that?
But somebody
these
might be
days?
like
Popping off.
have that like waiting to.
You were so fast, it's probably a blur.
Yeah. I've been counting on that. But the last thing is that I remember was being like kind of like coming to and being in the hotel elevator. And like it was like a guy and a girl security guard, and I was just like all pissed that they're ruining my vibe.
Sure. Right.
And I'm like, why are they laughing?
Uh-oh.
Why are they laughing? Like this isn't funny. And then I'm like, oh fuck, I'm naked.
Maybe might have been in the ocean too. We don't know.
I was like, why won't they let me explore?
Right. The water was cold that day.
Yeah.
Oh, dude.
Yeah, I mean,
Man.
I didn't even assume that they were laughing at my naked body.
Sure.
Just the fact that they could have been laughing at a number of things.
But this was you. So you totally think somebody had put something in your drink?
Yeah, because of the nature of that.
Yeah.
Like there was from what I gather, there were so many hours of just like I don't think I was drinking during those times. Like it was, I was just like out of my fucking mind. and I like there were bouts of like crazy times, but nothing in all of my experimentation with partying. And I really I tried a lot of things. Right. I can't specify that enough.
Okay.
Yeah, nothing
nude.
Nothing similar to that
No.
experience.
How did you feel the next day when you like saw everyone?
See, I didn't have like shame overs. Even that, I was just
Shame
like,
over.
I was just like, yeah. Like everyone was like high fiving me. They were like, that was insane. It was you. We came out of the.
We're buying so many of your shoes this year.
Yeah, I was like, I mean, and I don't know. Maybe that was just like, I was able to in my hangover like rearrange what they were telling me, but that's the message I got was like
it was sick.
It was sick.
Right.
Dude, you nailed
Can't wait
it.
for next year.
Not
I was
bad.
like, all right, I think that's what I came here for. I kind of overshot the landing,
Got
but
the right.
Oh, dude, I've cried like 3 times, and this is one of the hardest I've laughed on the show.
I do. And yeah, like maybe somebody like was there and they were like,
Well, after this episode, I'm sure photos will pop up on Instagram. now.
maybe they're like, that's not how it happened.
Blurry
Or maybe
naked
they'll step
guy.
forward and be like, yeah, I dosed you.
Yeah.
Yeah, dude, hey, if you're out there and you put something in my drink, tell me because I'm gonna high five you.
Right. See,
That was awesome.
I would be fucking terrified.
But also, what were you doing with PCP or whatever
Whatever it was
in the Bahamas,
right.
bro?
Listen, I would be fucking terrified if all of a sudden I started tripping. Like I would have to go to the hospital. I mean, I'm not. Yeah, I guess if you're drunk, maybe it's a different
Yeah,
story.
when you're drinking, I feel like.
Yeah, maybe
If
it's
you're
a-
sober and you just start tripping out, it'd be pretty weird.
Hell,
There's
it
a
was-
chance. There's a chance that it was just like a combination of a perfect fucking storm,
Right.
Which I'm okay with that. Too.
Sure.
It still happened,
Right.
and I was like, and it was like not
For some reason, I'm like imagining your face, like you're so just like in depth with running, and you're just fucking
On a mission.
like even now, dude, when I think about like exploring on that level of the hotel where there was nobody there and shit, I was like, yeah, I had to explore.
Yeah.
Like I was exploring
in the hallways.
but in my
Like,
head,
not
it's just
outside.
like that was important work I was doing.
You were doing-
like still, I have to be like, oh no, I didn't need to be
You
there.
didn't need to be, yeah. Hey, you were doing what you thought was right, man, at the time, you know?
Yeah.
Well, thanks for coming, man. That's a great fucking. No, I'm just kidding. No, we got a lot of other stuff to talk about. We got your when you got back on Baker and everything, and by the way, you on America, you had what, like 3-4 shoes, you know, 3 different. How many of total? Four pro models.
America.
KSL 1,
KSL
Dose.
Spanky, and one was called The Situation. Mm-hmm. I think that was all.
Were you watching Jersey Shore at that time?
No, that was it. Was also came out like right at the same time as that,
Oh, really?
and that was just unfortunate timing. Straight up, I was like, I didn't have like TV, and that was,
Why the Situation?
That was just that was in my vernacular heavy.
Okay.
Like everything was like
Situation.
situational.
Before or after the Bahamas?
That would be after, I think. I think the Bahamas was around like the KSL or KSL Dose
Okay.
zone. I think, yeah, it was.
Maybe it was a KSL Dose, and somebody thought it'd be fun. You know, just flip the table over. We're done. This is therapy in a way. You know what I'm saying?
See?
Yeah.
Oh, I bet you sold some shoes on that
KSL
one.
Dose.
Yeah.
For sure.
We all know what Kel.
I have a new shoe coming out. I think it's time to just say, let's celebrate.
Let's say.
See you in the Bahamas.
Let's. Soltech, if you're watching,
Yeah.
let's go to the Bahamas.
Go to the Bahamas. You got a partner over there, Kelly.
Yeah,
We'll join you.
Yeah.
We got to get these guys to go too.
No, I'm good. It'll.
We'll go.
Come on,
Yeah.
Kelly. We're going to.
Kelly's.
We're gonna go.
Chris ends
Senior
up naked.
Senior frogs.
frogs.
And then what's up with your new shoe though, dude?
I don't know if I'm supposed to talk about it, but
Oh.
it's gonna blow minds.
Is it
It's gonna be good.
Situation Dose?
It's gonna. It's called the Snooki.
The Snooki. I'm glad you're keeping on the theme of Jersey Shore. Yeah.
When's it coming out?
Next summer.
Oh, there you go.
That's,
okay.
That's early to be announcing it, right?
It's
I
a
don't
little.
know.
No, but
it's a
that's
little
cool.
premature.
Something to
but
look forward to.
it's something.
But,
Yeah,
hey.
that'll be number 5.
Yeah.
I love it. Hey, when you get the shoe, come back on the show. We'll
Okay.
talk. We'll talk about it.
All right.
Yeah, we'll talk about you developing it and the whole thing.
Okay.
Bring sketches and bring that sketch that you drew the shoe on.
Did you draw the shoe on the Etch sketch?
Of course I did.
Of course. See, I knew it. No, but so all the partying's over.
Uh-huh.
Running around naked on acid, maybe, we don't know, but it's over.
Yeah.
You're back on the board, you're skating well, and Reynolds gives you your board back.
Mm-hmm.
How was that? Good feeling, I bet.
Yeah, dude. That was a gnarly feeling.
Yeah.
Did you have any idea that they were gonna give you your board back, or did you were that something you were working towards, or?
Yeah, it was something that we talked about early on.
Okay.
Like when I came back into it, like at that time when it was still, I was like, I'm gonna give this a go, but it's not. I was not like, I don't remember being like, I'm gonna get my board back and I'm gonna get a shoe and all this.
You weren't
stuff.
on a mission, you
I
were
was-
just skating.
I was like a little bit apprehensive to be like, I didn't expect to be like let back in that way. So I just wanted to like put my head down and fucking skate and like
Rad.
see if there was something still left in there, like potentially if that was still viable or marketable or whatever. I was just like, I just want to do this. This is like my therapy right now.
Yeah.
And then Andrew and I talked about it, and he was like, yeah, we should do that. Like work for it if this all goes well.
Sure. And
Then
this is
that's
how
gonna be a
long out
thing.
of sobriety? Or how long
That was-
being sober?
I think that like getting back on to Baker and like and starting to film with Minor again,
Okay.
and get in the van with Jerry and stuff like
Yeah.
that was like within the first year.
So still early in sobriety.
Yeah.
Anything could happen, right?
Yeah, yeah.
You could
I
go
was on
back to
shaky
drinking
ground.
and
Yeah.
You're working on Made too, right? Or
Oh,
yeah,
that's right.
yeah, Made
Yeah.
too. Sorry. Yeah, like in the but still like very much at first it wasn't like, yeah, we'll throw you in this video. It's like I could maybe have a trick or something. And that was like for a while. It was like that. Like in the process of that video, it was not, I wasn't necessarily like working on a part until
Gotcha.
further down the line, because it really did take me a while to get back into things, like,
Right.
and but like right away it felt great.
But that's great though, because you didn't have pressure on you. You know what I mean? Like you were just getting
Totally.
back into skateboarding, no pressure to get back on Baker, film this video. Like, who needs that at that point in time?
Yeah.
Right? Like,
Yeah,
you're
it
just
was-
skating.
Yeah, it was not. Yeah, you're right. I was very fortunate to. It was like, do your thing.
get in the van, see what happens.
Yeah,
Yeah.
it's great.
Yeah, I just like did it, and I knew that that above all I needed to do that, and be out there, and that was great. And then like seriously, like some other fucked up shit was going down too. Like
Oh,
I
wow.
was married, and that was like. I was about to call it quits on that.
Okay.
And that was just kind of like, I mean, that's a different story, but
Sure.
but I will just say that it was a sort of toxic situation that needed to end, and was not an easy thing early on in the sobriety to put that on there. And it was like it was pretty messy ordeal.
That's tough.
And so like that, I remember that I was in the thick of that when the board thing was happening. And like, that was like when the Epically Latered came out and all that. And I was like, life just seemed like it was just getting wilder and wilder by the day.
Gotcha.
And it was all radical. It was all fucking great.
Sure.
You know what I mean? Like even that stuff, like it's just, I really, not in some divine way, but I just think as an experience had to happen.
Right.
I learned so much from all of that. And so it just was how it was going down. And so I was like, I was tripping during that time. I was like,
bet.
this is fucking crazy. It was like so emotional to be back on Baker. And that was huge for me. And
Yeah.
it was like touching that Andrew, you know, like he didn't have to do that at all. And they did it in such an awesome way.
But your family, dude. You
Yeah.
know, somebody's out there ripping and doing their thing. Like, it's what should be done, I think.
Well, when you were in sobriety and like you lost all your sponsors at one point, were you looking to go get a job at any point or anything like that, or was that like
Yeah, that was all happening right then. I had to seriously consider, like, what am I going to do? And that was still when I had gotten sober. Like, you know, I was thinking, like, luckily I had saved some dough because I just didn't have shit to spend it on besides partying. I never had a taste for fancy cars or anything else, really. I just wanted to like go party. And so I didn't in that time, I like saved. And so I had a little bit of a buffer, but
Oh, good.
it was time to
Party buffer.
Yeah.
Party buffer. Right.
Yeah, but it was time to sort it out for sure.
Sure.
And I made the decision. I think that's why Andrew was kind of like open with me about it being a potential, because he was like working with me. I was like, I don't know, should I pursue this or should I just, you know, I'll also just get a job?
Go get a job.
Like,
Yeah.
and I didn't want to put that on him, but I think that we had that discussion for that reason.
Sure. Yeah.
And I wrote it out for a second, and then fuck, it's like, I mean, it wasn't at all an overnight change. You know, I didn't get my board back and then like go lease a Lambo or whatever. Like I was
Right.
figuring it out for a while.
Yeah. At that point, you're trying to get your life back on track. And
Yeah. It wasn't exactly the priority. Wasn't to like, I'm going to do this to do this.
right.
Like it was all just like, it all just felt like it was helping each other.
Yeah. It's great, man. I love it. Was getting the board back the second time, or getting the board the second time, was that maybe a little more special
For
than
sure.
the first time?
Yeah.
Yeah.
It definitely was. It was
Could
just,
imagine.
it was just different. Like when I was 19, I had a little bit more like, I was like I was so confident with my seat at the table because
Sure.
it happened, and I was just like, this rules, and it was smaller, and I don't know, my self confidence and self esteem had been kind of crushed by a portion of all of those experiences.
Yeah, yeah.
And I really was like, does anyone care? Like, I don't know. I remember when Patrick was making the Epically Later thing, I was like, I don't want to make this like story because I don't want to assume that anyone fucking cares about this
Right,
shit.
right.
And like,
Yeah.
also I knew I wasn't going to drop like a Guy Mariano part after. Like, I was still just like figuring shit out.
Mm-hmm.
I've never been that guy. Like, I couldn't like put that icing on the cake because I'm just not that kind of skater. Like,
Sure.
I do my thing, and I'm really comfortable with what I do, and I'm happy with that. But I was like, man, this narrative is like getting a little out of control.
Right.
But I mean, I think Patrick does that in such a classy way.
He does it a great job.
And,
Yeah.
and I was grateful that he cared and that anyone cared and that Andrew cared. And I was just like, man, this is great. This is insane that I have this second chance at this. This
Yeah.
is fucking trippy.
And a support system around you.
Huge support system.
Love that. Yeah.
And we had like a party, and all my friends were there, and they knew, and,
Oh,
and I was
sick.
just like, dude, I was such a shell. Like,
Oh, so they kind of surprised you.
yeah,
Yeah.
yeah. They surprised me
Oh.
at this. Like, I knew it was a possibility, but they surprised me like at the schoolyard. We were like going skating, and
Oh,
they surprised
sick.
me out
Yeah,
at
you're
my
like
board.
sitting at
and
the table, and he put the boards down beside you.
Yeah.
And you didn't
Oh,
see him at
that's
first.
awesome.
Like,
Yeah, and I was just like, whoa, this is crazy.
That's insane.
That's awesome. though.
Yeah, I was like so fragile already, and then and then we celebrated.
Congrats again.
Still celebrating.
Still celebrating. It's got his kombucha on the table.
Yeah.
What flavor is that?
Ginger and lemon.
Oh, there you go. Yeah.
Did you change when you went sober? Did you change your eating habits or anything like that?
Yeah,
Yeah.
that like. Mind if I put my?
Go no, please.
Yeah, all that changed a lot in a sort of snowball effect of being mindful about what I'm putting in my body and being healthier about learning about nutrition, like stretching and all these
yeah.
things, and like I'm still learning about all that stuff. I think I will always be, but I'm interested in it, and I find results from that as well.
just hang out with Neen.
Oh
Yeah,
yeah. There you
I mean,
go.
I asked Nina a million questions. when I hang out.
Yeah. He's a perfect guy
Yeah.
too.
I'm like, so why
quinoa?
why quinoa? But I have like a pretty firm understanding, a grasp of nutrition, and I think
Well, it's a
you know,
whole other thing too. It's a whole other learning experience. Which, by the way, it's probably the perfect timing to go through all this and then change that lifestyle as well, because you're already changing
totally.
that mentality.
And Jerry will attest to this, but I've always kind of had that. It was so weird. I always had a taste for like health food
Oh.
and stuff, even when I was just
The finer
pumping my body full of like vile poison. Just that annoying dude who's like, sorry,
Yeah, I got to eat a salad.
yeah, I need a salad.
I'm vegan.
Yeah,
Well, that's great. I'm so stoked. And Baker 4.
yeah, Baker 4.
How's that coming along?
Let's do this.
We've been waiting for what's going on.
We were waiting for guys. You know how it is. It's complicated. Guys have other projects, and we want to see the guys.
Of course. Of course. We haven't had a Baker video in a long time.
Yeah, it's never been like just like dangling out there on purpose. It's very much happening, and things are finally coming together. Everyone's on board.
I love
and
it.
You'll
Yeah.
see it soon, and I don't know what it's going to look like, but
Well, it's HD. We know that.
Yeah.
Beagle
You don't like the way
said,
you look?
yeah.
I'm fucking excited. Like I said, I'm still a fan of the way those guys make videos and stuff.
Oh my
and so
God,
I
totally.
can't wait to see what they come up with. And we've all been out there skating a bunch.
Mm-hmm.
Like we're throwing out other projects right now, but it's been like one of those things where you're like filming for Baker 4, but you don't know. So it's like, and stuff kind of gets old quick.
Mm-hmm.
Or like you can't throw your footage on the shelf as long as you used to.
Yeah.
Totally.
So it's gonna go into like we're gonna put stuff into other things, and then full.
I can't wait.
It's not gonna be too long.
last part? What do we got here, Spanky? What's going on?
There will be
here?
a last part in the video.
There will be. Okay, we know that for sure. We know that for sure.
This video will end.
Okay. I just try to, I just, I can't, we can't wait.
I won't be there.
We can't wait to see it. We've been waiting for this video.
Yeah, I'm with
And it's
you.
going to be interesting too, because Baker, was VX for a long time, and now it's going to be HD.
Yeah.
So the hijinks we're really going to be able to see clearly.
Oh yeah.
Because Beagle's he's an
Yeah.
amazing talent.
Yes.
When it comes to capturing stuff.
Yeah, those crackheads will no longer be
Blurry.
rendered
Yeah.
almost faceless by the grain.
Right. Exactly.
They're going to be crystal clear. You're going to feel like you're smoking with them.
It must be exciting too to see Beagle interacting and filming the new generation you guys got going on too.
Yeah.
Is that like,
true.
what is it like skating with the new kids?
I think it's probably hard for him to catch up with T-Funk.
T-Funk's on a
Physically,
tear,
he
huh?
goes real fast.
Oh, does he?
Yeah, but Beagle's he's so immersed in all things Baker that there can't be Baker things doing another thing without Beagle.
Exactly.
He's up
He's
in
the-
there. It's
right.
all. It really is all bouncing off each other.
For sure.
So
the blood that's flowing through the veins.
So it's gonna. I'd imagine it's gonna be pretty seamless.
I just love Beagle because he's like the filmer that you want. You know what I mean? Like,
Certainly is.
Yeah.
he's the guy that it just looks like it's so much fun to film with. He's just having a good time. You see those videos of him smoking a joint and filming, and just the greatest.
Dude, it is that fun.
Yeah.
It is.
I-
And he's also, he's one of my favorite skaters of all time.
He
really
so
has
really
a-
good.
Oh, yeah.
Good.
Really good. And his dog too. It's pretty good.
Yeah.
Murphy
Dog Rex.
fucked up.
Have you ever, when you watch the videos, have you ever been like, dude, I don't even remember that happening, and he captured that on film? Does that happen a lot?
Yeah. Like all the tricks too.
I don't remember doing that.
I told you my 20s are just a blur.
Just blurred out.
But yeah, all that shit, he's sneaky.
Wow,
I cannot wait.
I liked when he was I don't know which one it was, but he's filming the Otis in the back of the van. The Otis is rapping to the song, and then they
Right.
put it in the
Watching the-
song,
yeah.
and
Yeah.
he's just lit up by the screen of the van. That is so magic. That's real. That shit's real.
That's insane.
Theo's just in the back, just rapping too. I think it was a Cameron song or something. I don't remember.
But see, that's the shit that's like you want to see, you want to capture, but how do you do that? Beagle does it.
Yeah, because he's got that. He's curating as he's capturing.
Totally.
He's kind of has a hand in that art.
Mm-hmm.
He's the situation is happening, but he's also
He just also realized how
scooping
ridiculous it is, too.
Yeah,
Yeah,
Like
that's
it takes his eye to scoop it and immortalize it.
Yeah.
Totally. Isn't it funny how everything just kind of meshes together and everything just works out and it is what it is without even trying to curate something like that?
Yeah.
You try to curate it, it would just never would happen.
Yeah.
It wouldn't happen. It's just everything organically meshes together.
Yeah,
It's
but some
amazing.
people are just. It almost seems like they're just. People have been describing this sentiment for a long time, but some people seem to be like magnets for that shit.
Yeah,
You watch Jerry Sue walk around town, and he captures
million
these
photos. Yeah.
moments that are
Exactly.
to me, I'm like, this is fucking phenomenal.
A normal person would walk by and he's just like,
Yeah.
that's fucked up.
Yeah.
Take a photo of that.
Yeah.
And I've often asked Jerry, how do you get these photos? How do you take these? How do you I never see shit like this.
Yeah, it's his brain.
Yeah.
He's I don't know, he's just capturing art. That is his art.
Yeah.
He is internet famous.
I'll stop
But-
saying art.
It is what it is, man. Well, listen, we're all looking forward to. Oh, one more thing about is the GOAT playing anytime soon? Or what do we do? Are you guys working on an album or what's going on with that?
We have not.
Guys been playing it?
I jammed with the Tiba the other day.
Oh, yeah?
Yeah.
Sick.
But the Goat's on hiatus.
Oh, okay.
Rap rock's too popular again.
Letting it cool down.
Yeah. It's a little too on trend.
Okay.
No, hopefully we all get in the room. That's a really fun and also therapeutic.
Because I
type
was going to
thing.
say, just jamming together would be
Yeah.
fun. Yeah.
Yeah, I don't just play guitar all the time.
Mm-hmm.
So it's fun when we all do that because I'm not a guitar player. We just do that sometimes, and
Yeah.
it's really fun.
Well, you guys are good at it.
It's
Let me
ridiculous.
tell you.
It's ridiculous stuff.
What does Kevin Spanky Long do on a normal day, not skateboarding, just maybe a day, wake up, what time? Early riser? Late riser?
I'd say kind of a late riser.
Yeah.
Lately, I really love mornings, and I love to wake up early, and I'm good at waking up early.
Okay.
I think.
What's early in your opinion? Everybody's
Like-
got a different.
Like I like a 7 a.m. wake up, but
It's early.
But I usually wake up at 10 or something these days.
Okay. See, that's my early.
Because I also like being up at night, and you can't have both. And I like to hang out with my lady.
Okay.
And the dogs, and sometimes after a long day of skating, like you're not skating at 7 a.m. with all your friends and stuff. So
True.
So I've adjusted to like a 10 a.m. wake up and
Okay.
then stay out and try to party.
See, I like that. Like late nights are my favorite part because nobody's bothering you. I love it.
Yeah, I mean, you can find that same sort of solitude in the morning. And like,
No, I can't do that.
yeah.
Just turn your phone off.
I don't know. I like them both. I wish I could
Yeah.
have mornings and nights. But
It's hard to do both. Yeah.
I do things that like kill time.
Okay. Like Etch a Sketch.
Etch a Sketch. Yeah. You asked me what like a normal day looks
Yeah,
like
yeah,
when
yeah.
I'm not skating.
Mm-hmm.
Well, lately, I've been doing like a lot of pretty time-consuming art projects because
cool.
I do a lot of Baker graphic series now.
Dope.
Like almost every season, I got my hands in that, and that's pretty time-consuming.
Okay.
And the other companies like America, a lot of the stuff, the packaging and stuff, it'll be
Oh, dope.
drawings and so that stuff. There's like an endless list of
Things to do.
Yeah, like assignments, which I fucking love. I love
Yeah,
all
yeah,
that
yeah.
shit. And then recently, the days that I'm not skating, I've been preparing for these art shows. So I have
yeah.
one coming up on the 5th of October in Tokyo. It's a solo show.
You're flying to Tokyo.
Yeah, we're doing an America trip out there.
That's like in a couple days, bro.
I know. I know.
Are you ready?
Yeah,
you ready?
all the work's sent out.
It's already there.
It's on its way.
Oh.
Hopefully, fingers crossed.
Hopefully.
Yeah,
That's amazing.
It's in a crate.
Like,
sent out
so
there.
for something like that, solo show in Tokyo,
Yeah.
I mean, I'm nervous right now just talking
Yeah.
about it, but how many pieces do you have to send?
It's a small gallery within
Okay.
like a big store. That's like it's this place called Beams.
Beams is a big like footwear spot. Like
You say beans?
No, not
Oh,
Beams. Beams.
Yeah.
It's his nickname. Beans.
So it's like a small space, but anyway, it's like six larger pieces that are like this big that have multiple.
What's that? 4 feet? No, 3 feet by
It's
2.5.
it's
2.5.
shrinking.
I know. He's just like, well, maybe it's
It's like this and this. It's
okay.
It's like
an average
smaller
size
than
frame.
that, but
Okay.
yeah.
So
and then
six of those.
and then 8 of 11 by 14.
Wow.
So
That's a lot of
It was
work.
a lot of work, and
a
I
lot
was
of work.
working on 2 shows at once, but they're pretty involved drawings. They were time consuming. It's time consuming stuff. So I've been busy with
Sounds like it.
because I've been skating a lot too. So
So you said you're doing an E-America tour out there at the same time?
Yeah.
Oh, so you're going to like double dip. That's
yeah,
awesome.
Yeah. It'll
Works
be
out perfect.
It'll be in the beginning of the trip.
Dope.
Mm-hmm.
Wow.
I'm super excited. Another like crazy opportunity that I can't believe that's a thing, but they hooked it
It's
up.
amazing.
That's rad.
It's amazing. No Etch a Sketches though.
No,
No.
a little bit hard to
Harder to ship. Yeah.
really hard to say.
They get there, they're all blank.
Yeah.
It will. I mean, it's a. I will say a lot of people ask me, like, reach out to me either in person or
Sure.
on the thing,
Yeah.
and they're like, "Do an Etch a Sketch show, you idiot!" And I'm
Right.
like, "All right, it's coming."
It's hard.
It's
I have a lot of other shit
It's
going
a
on.
weird thing. It's
Totally.
Like, it's hard.
You
to,
don't always have to do it there at the gallery, hang it up, move on to the next one, hang it up.
Yeah, or
Be a
I mean,
long
there's a way. It's just working on it.
Do you sell your art?
I do. Yeah, I just did a show in New York, and that all the drawings sold.
How do you put a price on something like that? Does somebody else do that for you, or do you say like, I want this one to sell for X amount of dollars? Like, how does that? That seems really difficult to me.
Yeah, it's tough. It's tough. if you also just don't, it's not easy for me to be like, this is worth so much. Like, you have to put that worth on it
Right.
at one point. But like, I lean on other people for that a lot,
You
and
see,
like
that's a good
to like dictate the. And you can look around and see sort of, it's hard to compare to other things, but size is a real easy way to price things. But to me, like, if I have a smaller canvas, then I'm going to work more detailed.
Sure.
But size is easy. I don't know. I sometimes will throw drawings onto my like Instagram stories and be like, these are available for a limited time, and if you catch it, then
cool.
people hit me up on DM, and then I send them off to them. And
Wow.
but it's weird because they're like, how much is this? And I swear some people think it's going to be
You
like
let them name the
$30 or
price?
something like
Oh,
that.
yeah.
No, I have like a steady
Yeah.
price, and it's just what it is. Like, our work it's time consuming stuff, and so you got to kind of calculate the hours that you put
I was
into
going
it.
to say, yeah, you can kind of do an hourly thing. It's so interesting.
But you also just have to be willing to like let it into the world and like know that you're going to make more shit and be.
And hopefully gain the recognition to charge more and more and more.
Yeah, it's tough.
You know,
it's
as a
tough
monetary
business to,
thing,
like,
yeah.
be-
Because one artist can do a line and it's worth shit, and another artist can do a line and it's worth 20 grand.
Yeah,
It's fucking art is so I'll never understand art. It's so bizarre to me.
yeah.
The most
I'm trying to learn
worthless
about it,
shit is
actually.
worth so much money. I'm like, that is shit. But to somebody else, it's like they love it. They have to have it. I'm like, I do not see that.
It's a Mark Gonzalez.
I mean, he does cool stuff. That stuff I like. Other stuff I don't.
But that's the beauty of subjectivity. That's in skateboarding too.
Totally. Totally.
Some
You know, like,
bullshit thing that you would give away or fucking never want to see again is somebody
Exactly.
else's gold.
It's fucking bizarre. You know, I'm going to start drawing.
But there are more. It's to us, we understand the perimeters in skateboarding a lot more. Like when you look at modern art, you're like, what the fuck? That is so far from. That's just like a guy like throwing his board at a wall. Like if you're putting it in skateboarding terms, it's
Totally.
like, doesn't equate. But it is interesting to learn about that stuff. I don't know anything about art, and I've been trying to like school myself a little bit and like learn some shit about art history, and it's fucking fascinating the way that. I mean, it's just nerdy shit, but it's like the way that movements came about, and it's all a direct. It's like a reply to the movement before. So people are sort of, like in skating when people are kind of rebelling against the skinny shoes with the puffy shoes, and things just like go out of control.
Yeah, I see what you're saying.
A lot of times
Right.
that happens in art movements, and they're like, this shit's so rigid, we're going to be so loose. And it's weird how that happens.
Yeah.
It's
And
just-
over a long, long period of time.
Right. I see. I just wouldn't know what to draw. I'm going to draw something though.
One day.
Put it on my Instagram stories. Maybe I can get $30 for it.
Dude,
You know?
yeah. I just saw you do a 20 stair in a part of a hubba.
Thank you, bro. You erased it though.
Cool. Sorry. You erased it.
Oh, I did. That's right. I did. Listen, man, we got to wrap this up soon. This has been fascinating. It's been excellent. It's been great. It's been wonderful.
The pleasure has been mine.
No.
I promise.
It's been mine.
You know, it'd be
It's been ours.
I can't. Okay. There you go.
It'd be funny if we end the show with him just like his shirt off and he just runs off.
Blur past the camera. Right. No, but listen, we want to.
You got the shrimp
That
blur
would be
in that
pretty-
thing.
Listen, if you run fast enough, Roger don't need to do anything.
I think that was part of my lack of shame in that situation. I was like, dude, I was flying. Nobody saw me.
Nobody was. Meanwhile, you were in slow mo.
Yeah.
And you just thought you were running fast.
Yeah. Who knows?
Yeah.
Life's funny.
Kelly, will you please grab our friend Kevin, Mr. Spanky Long, a shirt and a mug, maybe
What size are you?
medium, maybe.
Everyone thinks I'm a medium. I wear
You look
small.
like you were
Small?
really.
Yeah.
Oh no. Medium, right? No, that's
Everyone
not a small.
says this, man.
Medium?
Go ahead.
I mean, I know, like this. I know it's not like a baggy shirt or whatever, but it's
That's a small.
like a small. Like I wear like my body is small, guys.
I know.
It's tiny.
Yeah,
I'm a
but
tiny
you don't
little guy.
look like a small at all, though.
Thank
That's what
you.
I'm saying. Medium.
A lot of effort goes into deceiving you.
Has anybody ever told you look like Mark Wahlberg?
I've gotten that.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Certain times during this conversation, I see Mark Wahlberg sitting there, and it makes me think I could maybe talk to Mark Wahlberg if he's on the show
One day.
one day.
I'm sure it'd be interesting.
No, but you
I don't
do.
know.
You get there are these moments where your face just looks like.
I've gotten that a couple times,
Yeah?
but I don't know.
That's amazing, dude. It's a great guy to look like,
Yeah, thanks.
or for him to look like you. You know, listen.
That's
here-
neat. Is medium? If medium's the smallest you go, that's fine too.
I don't know.
No, we have smalls.
Okay.
Oh yeah, we go across the whole. Listen, here's a 9 Club sweater for you.
That's
This is if you would wear that, if you don't want to wear it, you know, maybe. And here's a white small for you.
Thank you.
Small shirt, and of course I want to give you the Switch Flip Manny mug.
That's art right there.
That's art.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Kelly
Yes.
is absolutely right. I made that on the computer in Illustrator.
That's great.
Yeah. I took every screenshot of it and I, traced it and put made it
Live
white.
trace?
Well
Huh?
done.
Live trace.
No, I traced it out by hand using the lasso tool. You're a good Photoshopper, by the way. Great stuff. I love your work. You should
Thanks.
have a show of all that.
I don't use any. I never. Everything is like. How do I say this?
Yeah.
I don't know the terms, but no like tools. It's all just like 2 images and like cut out.
Yeah, but you have to blend it some. It looks so good. You don't blend.
blending.
You
and
use a
stuff,
blend.
yeah,
Okay.
yeah. What I mean is like
You
I
just
think
erase?
that a lot of people ask me like, what's that app that you use?
Oh.
It like makes the heads bigger.
Okay.
Or something like that.
So
but
you're
it's
just
all-
going. You're in Photoshop and you're blowing the head up. And
It's
then
all on
you're-
my phone, but it's like a Photoshop app.
Oh, you have the
kind of thing.
Photoshop app. That's even harder to do. Jesus.
It's not. It's just well. Anyway, but Photoshop.
One more present for you, bro. We didn't know this before the show, but you said you don't like the big etch-a-sketches. Well, they're just different to use, but we got you a $13 etch-a-sketch for you. There you go.
That's wonderful. Thanks, guys.
No worries,
So, no,
dude.
that's great.
Is it?
Yeah, and I've used the big ones, and
You like the smaller ones, though.
I like
You do.
I like the smaller ones, but I also, hey, I'm trying to expand
love
my horizons and
Just go big.
spread my wings a bit.
That'd be amazing if you drew something and mailed it back to us, and it was just blank.
Well, what's the little logo you did in the small one? Looks like you did something.
Oh, we did a horse with a 9 Club head.
That's my gift to you guys.
Thank
That-
you. That's amazing gift.
That
Yes.
is awesome.
This is a gift that involves.
No, Raj, super glue that to the bookshelf so nobody bumps it over, will you? 'Cause we can't
We
lose
can do
that.
that.
Time
We
bomb.
can't
That's
lose
really
that.
impressive, though. To be honest, that is.
Yeah, it's pretty.
Dude,
Really?
it is. If you when this episode airs, well, it's airing right now. You guys are watching this, but we will put that up on our social media so people can see the detail. And that horse is shadowing and all kinds of shit.
What made you think to put the 9 Club name as a horse's head?
Well, where else would it go, Rod?
Yeah, but I mean,
But why a horse? Why a horse?
Like, what made that come to your mind?
He's an artist, man. There's no rhyme or reason.
Yeah.
Yeah, I just thought I don't know. I did it. It took me a couple tries. I
By the way,
wrote the 9 Club and then I erased it, and then it was time for the horse with
Time
the
for
9
the
Club. It just happened.
I want to draw it on a horse.
by the way, you literally did that in 10 minutes.
Yeah.
Very impressed.
While having a conversation.
Yeah.
Well, I feel comfortable with you guys, so thank you.
Thank you, bro. Spanky, man. Kevin, it's been a pleasure. Thank you so much for
Dude,
coming by.
Thanks, guys.
Thanks so much.
Looking forward to the Baker video, the new America shoe coming out next summer, possibly. We don't know the
If
dates.
you're in Tokyo, go check out our show.
Oh, Tokyo.
Yeah, come say what's
That'd
up.
be amazing, dude. Any chance we can get an art piece from you? Maybe
We
He just
did.
gave us one, dude.
oh no, I meant one of his ones is
That are expensive.
yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, I got you.